A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Tired of the everyday routine? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all?
We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure. Escape, the battle of man against the elements, of man against man. 30 minutes of flight into the world of action and danger, where every minute is a call to adventure. These are the moments when a life hangs on the twist of a chance. The moments of escape.
Tonight, we escape to the wildest mountains of Idaho, in the story of love and murder in the midst of a raging forest fire, as Anthony Ellis tells it in The Red Forest. It had taken me 5 years, 3 months, and 4 days. It had carried me across 21 states. And then in the Clearwater country of Idaho, I'd found it. That was in the afternoon. The trail had led from a lumber town along a washboard road and into the forest. I'm no woodsman, but in the daylight I found the place. And then I started back to the car. But something was different. Maybe the late sun read through the trees, maybe tall shadows. There wasn't a trail anymore, only streams where there hadn't been before. Trees that were the same, but weren't. And sounds. Sounds that were fun when you were a kid on a hike, but now scared you. I used my last cigarette 3 or 4 hours before, and it was then that I started to run. Run. And the fear grows until you want to scream and want the ground to open up for you, warm and safe. But it didn't. And now, there was only the dry whirring of a rattlesnake, coiled inches away from me. No! I lived then, maybe because the snake was more afraid of something else than me. It didn't strike. Just slithered away and became the pattern of the leaves. It was nearly dark when I found the road. I'd come to it about a half a mile below where I'd parked the car. A half hour later, on the outskirts of the little town, my headlights picked up a girl standing on the side of the road. She carried a cheap paper suitcase, and she was thumbing a ride. I stopped.
Mister?
Why, sure. Here. I'll put your case in the back. There we go.
Gee, I'm lucky. Not many cars on the road tonight.
Uh-huh. Been walking long?
Uh-huh. I'm on my way to Missoula. My last ride dropped me a mile or so back.
Yeah?
You live around here?
No.
I don't guess you'd be going as far as Missoula.
Well, sure.
Gee, that's swell. I got a job there starting tomorrow. Kind of broke, you know what I mean? Buses cost money.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Mind if I smoke?
No, of course not. Go right ahead.
Hey, your face.
What?
You've been hurt. You're all scratched up.
Oh, well, I was hunting. I got lost just the other side of town. If you want to take a nap, it's okay. We've got about 100 miles to go.
Guess I look pooped, huh?
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. I am. Say you're all right, mister. I'll take you up on it. Some guys, the minute you get in, want more than the bus fare. I can see you're not that kind.
You'll be safe. I'll wake you when we're at the city limits.
Thanks. Thanks a lot. Oh. Gee, it's nice out here. Kind of lonely. Smells good. I wonder what that is. Over there.
What?
The sky. Bright light, see?
I don't know.
Gee, could almost be Seattle from a long way off. I had a boyfriend. He used to take me driving at night. When we came back, you could see a glow. Just like that. Oh.
I saw that glow in the sky. It was on our right. And as the road twisted through the trees, it fell behind us into our left and circled until it was straight ahead. The girl had fallen asleep very quickly. I saw her face in the light from the dash. Thin, pretty, peaceful. And it was about 15 minutes after I picked her up that I saw the lights on the road. And then closer, the figures waving.
Hey, there already? I just got to sleep.
No, there's something wrong. There's a cop coming this way. What's the trouble?
Lonnie, we want you, mister.
Want me?
Yeah. Forest fire. Bad one. We gotta have every man we can find. Someone else in the car with you?
Yes, a girl.
Good, she can help.
Look, I'd like to very
Here's
much.
the forest ranger. He'll explain.
Well, I'm awfully sorry, but you see, I'm on my way to Missoula.
Not tonight. I got authority to do this, mister. I'm sorry, but we need you.
Well,
You couldn't get much further anyway. The road's cut off. Mountain's going up like a torch. If it spread, there's 3 towns going, too. Come on, I got some clothes and boots for you.
Hey, what about me? I gotta get to Missoula. I got a job in the morning.
Sorry, sister. You got a job serving coffee here.
You cops.
$5 a day.
A day?
Or longer, it depends. Come on, let's go.
There was nothing else to do, so I got into the clothes the ranger gave me, then stood around and waited. I wasn't tired anymore, just scared. Scared of going into that forest again. The wind came up a bit, and with it, the smell. Smell of burning. Smell of death. A long way off, but closer than the glow had been, we could see flickering against the sky. And it was in a lot of places. Suddenly, it was too warm and too quiet.
All right, you guys. The telephone's burnt out. I made contact with a short-wave set. Hey, you, mister.
What?
What's your name?
Pendel.
Pendel.
Yeah.
You ever use one of these?
Walkie-talkie? Sure, I was in the signal corps.
Okay, and you'll carry it. Now, listen. This is bad. Real bad. The fire's got behind us. We can't get any more men through for several hours. They got to come around from the other side, and that's 30 miles.
What's the use, then? Let's get out.
Hey, Crowbar.
Yeah?
I'm putting you in charge. You know what to do. Get in as close as you can to the river and set a backflash.
Sure.
I got to stick here with the transmitter. You take the walkie-talkie, and I'll let you know what's happening.
Sure, you stay here with the pretty girl. We go and get fried.
Shut up, Pat.
Hey, Hanson, you'll have to go with them. 3's not enough.
Sure.
Well, the cops could do some work for a change.
You better take along some food and a thermos. Come on, step on it.
Too bad we haven't got the
A
track.
couple of sandwiches I made up. Here.
Thank you.
It sure is something, isn't it?
Yeah.
You scared?
Scared? Why?
Your face is white. You scared?
I'm from the city.
I know what you mean. Those trees give me the willies, too. Dark.
Sure. That's it.
You'll be all right.
Listen, kid, if anything happens, you take my car. Here are the keys.
What do you mean?
If I don't come back, keep the car.
You kidding? You're coming back.
Yeah, sure. So long.
Hey, my name's Jan. What's yours?
Wally.
You be careful, Wally.
We went into the forest. Men with spades. Men against fire and terror. There was the man they called Fat, 300 pounds of ungainly body, topped by a tiny and almost disgustingly childlike face. There was Crowbar, a big, dark man, quiet and filled with a knowledge of the woods. Hanson, the state trooper, thin and wiry, his natty khaki shirt stained with sweat and dirt. And me. We'd gone about a mile when we first heard it. It came in gusts with the wind high above us.
Wait a minute.
Holy...
Shut up.
Let's get out of here.
About 3 miles away. I figure coming fast.
We're about that far from the river, aren't we?
Yeah.
Listen, you guys, if it's crossed the river, we're sunk. Let's get out.
Hey, Wally.
Yeah.
Get the ranger. Tell him it's coming this way pretty fast.
Right. Look, sparks up there, see?
Sure, Pat. Sparks, fire. You
Hello.
chicken?
Oh, lay off.
Hello. Pendel calling Roe. Pendel calling Roe. Over.
Roe. This is Roe. Over.
We're still about 3 miles from the river. We can hear it. Over.
You can't send a backfire now. Wind's changed. You better come back. Over.
Right. Well, he says go back.
That's okay with me, boys.
Come on.
Gee, listen to that.
I wanted to run again, that same feeling I'd known before, the fear all around us, closing in and down. There was no sky above, only blackness tinged with red, pressing. And behind, the living forest, running, overtaking, and passing us. When we reached the road again, the sound was steady. I had a strange feeling of relief when I saw the forest ranger and the girl, Jan. It was like coming home. I think it was then that I stopped being afraid.
Come on, Roe. We can't do no good now.
Yeah, you're not kidding. We got to try and join up with the others.
What do you mean?
Well, the fire's on 3 sides of us. That means we head southeast.
Well, can't we take the road back?
Nope. There's 200 men trying to keep a path open for us. We got to make 5 miles in a hurry.
Bad as that.
Yeah, worse. If we don't get there in time and they can't make a fire break, we're going to be smack in the middle, and there's not going to be any way out.
Our country faces a critical problem, excessive hoarding and purchasing by thoughtless people. Panic buying is senseless buying. It helps no one and creates situations which are as dangerous as they are unnecessary. The American Grocery Manufacturers Association reports that we have a surplus of 450 million bushels of grain. Stocks of lard are 189 million pounds above what we had last year. Production of vegetable oils is above the average of the last 10 years. Quantities of fresh and canned vegetables are 10% above normal. Supplies of sugar are 950,000 tons above last year's figure. There's a surplus of eggs growing at the rate of 15 million dozen every month. The only shortages are temporary local shortages, so don't help to create them. The good citizen is the thoughtful consumer. Buy what you need, don't deny yourself the things to which you're accustomed, but don't take somebody else's share. You'll buy what you need if you need what you buy. The size of your shopping bag is the test of your allegiance to your country.
Now we return you to Escape.
We didn't carry anything but canteens. It was hot, and because it was hot, it made you thirsty even when you didn't need water. The going was rough, and we could only head in what we thought was the general direction of safety. It was at the ridge that we lost the first man.
The wind's changing again, Crowbar.
Which way?
I can't tell. It's haywire with this fire.
Do we go straight ahead?
Might as well.
Oh, wait a minute. See that ridge?
Yeah?
Now, why don't I get up there? Shouldn't take more than 10 minutes, and I'll be able to get a better look. Give me the flash, and I'll signal to you.
I don't know. We haven't got much of a start. Fire's behind us and a lot faster.
Well, it's better than walking toward it. Remember, it's on 3 sides.
Okay. You make it fast, Crowbar.
Sure.
Good luck.
What do we do? Just sit and wait?
Yeah, that's right.
Listen, you're the ranger. Why don't you go? What'd you send Crowbar for?
He's fought fires before, and he knows. He's a better man to climb up there. He's faster than me.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Hey, kid. Kid, are you okay?
Sure, Wally. Just fine. Guess I'm not used to walking, though. These high heels don't help.
Yeah. Take it easy, huh?
My feet feel like they did once at a dance I went to. Some big lunk climbed all over me.
Guess you won't have a job in Missoula, huh?
If I get out of this, that's all I care about.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm scared. Give me a hand, will you?
She held onto my hand tight. It wasn't the darkness that frightened her now. There wasn't darkness anymore, but a yellowish red light that came from everywhere. It was another kind of fear. Fear of something you could see, hear, and with every minute feel more and more. Well, we waited there 10 minutes, 11, 12, and then...
You hear something?
Yeah.
Seemed to come from over there.
From the ridge, maybe?
Maybe.
Listen, you think something got Crowbar? A lion or something?
I'll go up.
No, Pendel.
What do you mean, no?
No time. We waited too long now.
Somebody may be hurt.
Yeah, I know that. It'll take you longer than it took Crowbar to get there. Now, come on.
You couldn't find him in the dark? Who says he's hurt anyway? We'll move on and he'll catch up.
I say we go after him.
Not me.
I'll put it to a boat, but hurry up now. Hanson.
We go on.
All right, Pat.
Let's get out of here.
And I say go on. That leaves you missing.
I'm staying with Wally.
All right. I'll go with you. We never saw Crowbar again. Maybe a lion got him. Maybe he got lost. We never saw him again. The ranger went ahead, finding trails somehow, keeping us moving. We began to climb, and after a while we were on another ridge. For the first time we could see the fire. It stretched out for miles like a huge red sea. It was all around us.
Oh, gee. Wally,
Yeah, I know. I know.
will it hurt much?
I don't know.
Hey, take a breather. I'm going to try the walkie-talkie again.
He's not scared, is he?
I guess not.
Is that because he's a ranger? Or because he's very brave?
You're a funny girl.
No, I'm not. Hey, give me a kiss, will you?
Sure. Why did you want me to do that?
I don't know. You're a nice fella. I'll miss you.
Listen, Janet, I want to tell you something.
What?
If we get out, maybe.
Yeah?
Look, I'm all right. I mean, we could have fun together.
I know.
I did something wrong once. I killed a man.
Why?
He framed me. Got me put away for something I didn't do. We were driving in the east and ran over a woman. He was at the wheel, but he took a powder and left me.
But you didn't do it.
That's what I say, but I'd been drinking and went to sleep. When I woke up, I was behind the wheel. He put me there. That's how the cops found me. I got 5 years.
Oh.
I was married. My wife killed herself. Ashamed, I guess. I lost my job and my friends. I swore I'd get my pal, and I did. He was a louse. He knew I was after him and ran, but I caught up with him.
I don't care.
Don't you? I don't know why I told you that. Maybe because if we do get out,
Sure. I know. It's okay.
Come on, Pendel. The ranger's moving off.
It was the state trooper, Hanson. I wondered how much he'd heard, but there wasn't any time to worry then. Rowe thought he'd seen a break in the fire, and we headed for it. When we got down in the trees again, I began to get a feeling that I'd been there before. It was nothing I could recognize, just a feeling. And then a couple of 100 yards along, I knew why.
Hey, hold up. There's a cat.
Looks like someone's living there. Better have a look.
Door's open.
Hey.
It's a man.
All right, give me a hand.
Sure.
Hey, he's being shot.
Yeah. A few hours ago, from the looks of it.
You think the man who did this might have started it?
What do you mean?
The fire. It started a few miles north of here. We figured somebody got careless with a match. Maybe the killer running away.
I'd like to get the fella that did that. Maybe I will.
Yeah, me too. Well, we can't do anything here. Come on.
From there on, nobody talked. It was hard enough to lift your feet. Jan was nearly through, and I half carried her. If Rowe knew where he was leading us, he didn't say. We followed and knew that sooner or later we'd stop because we were too tired to go on. That was the first.
Listen, fellas. Wait a minute.
Oh, you gotta go on. There's still a chance.
No, the best. Just for a minute.
No. Get up.
Please, 1 minute, that's all.
Get up.
No, I can't. I can't.
Okay, you stay.
No.
But come on.
But I tell you, I can't.
I'm sorry. You catch up to us and stay on the trail.
No.
All right, come on, Jan.
We're going to leave him.
No, we have to.
No, please don't leave me. I'm coming. Please, listen away.
Can we help him?
Oh, we're almost dead ourselves. I don't know whether it was because none of us liked him or because we knew that we couldn't do anything. It's funny how you can lose a man and know he's going to die and put him right out of your mind. Perhaps we wanted to live so badly we figured the fire would take time out from us to attend to him. Hanson was next. I'm finished.
No, you're not. Just a bit more to go. We can still get through.
No, you go ahead. Save the girl.
I'm sorry.
Go on. Maybe I can catch up. I got a race. You, Wally, do me a favor.
What?
I lost my gun somewhere. Know what I mean? It'll be quicker that way. You got one?
Yeah. Here.
Thanks. One bullet fired, huh? That's all I wanted to know. Okay, Pindell. I've had enough rest. I can keep up with you now. Feel a little safer with this on me. Go ahead.
So he knew. I didn't care now. I was too tired to care. If he wanted to play cop, that was his business. Sure, the man in the shack was Lenny Gillen. Sure, I'd killed him. It was my match on that last cigarette when I was lost that must have started this fire, but it wasn't important anymore. Right now, I wanted to get Jan out of it. Get myself out.
What was that?
It's behind us. It sounded like Hanson.
All right. Come on. Watch the ravine.
No, he must have fallen.
We gotta help him.
No time.
Good, Joe.
We didn't help Pat. Why him?
I don't know. Please.
All right, stay here. Hanson! Hanson! Keep calling, Hanson! Over this way! This way! Over here! Okay. My leg! Can you get up? Oh, my leg. Broken, I guess. You know about me, don't you?
Yeah, I know. Girl knows, too. I heard you telling her.
She won't say anything?
No, I guess not.
Gillen had it coming to him.
I wouldn't know. I'm a cop.
Yeah.
It's getting hot.
Put your arm over my shoulder.
You can't get me up there.
Well, I can try. Now, come on. Come on.
Hey. No good. We can't take.
I'll get the ranger and come back.
No time. Go on.
No,
Get out of here.
No, I can't.
Go on. I've got your gun. Nobody will ever know. You can get away with murder.
Hanson, I'm sorry.
Go on, get out of here.
Somehow I've made it up the trail again. I thought I heard a shot on. Maybe it was a burning tree going down. Jan was waiting for me, and we went on until the trees began to thin out, and we heard the shots of men. I don't remember anything else because I passed out for a long time. When I woke up, Jan was sitting by my bed, and it was cool again.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Jan. Did they get Hanson out?
No.
Jan, listen to me. About what I told you back there. You know, the man I killed.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry. I mean, it was all right about him, but not Hanson crowbar. In fact, that was my fault, you know that.
Yeah.
Well, I want you to call a cop. Listen, kid, I've been dreaming about it. It's no good. Now, be a good kid and call a cop, will you?
I don't have to. There's one outside now.
What do you mean?
When you passed out, I guess you were delirious or something. You told them.
I told them. Oh, that's good. That's good. Oh, I'm glad.
You want me to hang around?
Well, that's up to you, I guess.
I guess it is. I'll hang around.
Each year, thousands of Southern Californians contribute to the pension and sick and injured funds of the Sheriff's Relief Association. You can do your share for this deserving organization by attending the Sheriff's Annual Rodeo in the Los Angeles Coliseum on August 27th. Cowboy star Roy Rogers and Trigger will head the great array of talent on this thrill-packed show. June Haber has been selected as Rodeo Queen, and Joel McRae will act as Grand Marshal. There will be exhibitions of roping and riding by champions from all over the country, and 1,000 other exciting events at the Sheriff's Annual Rodeo, the greatest spectacle of its kind in the world. It's at the Los Angeles Coliseum, 2:30 Sunday afternoon, August 27th. It's a treat the whole family will enjoy. And don't forget the date, Sunday, August 27th.
Escape is produced and directed by William N. Robeson, and tonight has presented The Red Forest by Anthony Ellis. Featured in tonight's cast were Georgia Ellis as Jan, Bill Conrad as Wally, Paul Freese as Hanson, Ben Wright as Roe, Jay Novello as Pat, and Will Gear as Crowbar. Special music arranged and played by Ivan Ditmars. Next week.
You're in the middle of the most barren desert of Mexico, watching a wealthy Oriental voluntarily being strangled to death by the priests of his strange religion, dangerous fanatic priests, from whom there is, for you also, no escape.
Next week at this time, CBS invites you to escape with an exciting story of a man trapped by the priests of a weird cult in the desert wastes of Mexico, as Gouverneur Morris tells it in The Footprint. Be listening. Goodbye then until this same time next week, when once again we offer you Escape. For radio entertainment at its best, keep tuned to your CBS station. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Tired of the everyday routine? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all?
We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure. Escape, brought to you by your Richfield gasoline dealer and the Richfield Oil Corporation of New York. Marketers of Richfield gasolines with xylene, Rich Lube, all-weather motor oil, and other famous petroleum products. Look for the Richfield Eagle on the cream and blue pumps.
Tonight, we escape with the story of the murderous priests of a weird cult hidden in the barren deserts of Mexico. As Gouverneur Morris tells it in his famous tale, The Footprint.
Here it is. Now, you see me, Buckles. Here's the Gulf of California.
Yeah?
And up here near the Barra de San Jorge, on the coast of Sonora, we find two bays divided by a high spit of sand with a granite pillar marking the bay to the north.
Mm-hmm.
It's a massive thing, that pillar. Easy to find. You can't miss it. Then there's 20 miles inland, due east from the pillar, and we find it.
Well, find what?
A Chinese pagoda.
A Chinese pagoda. You sure it isn't a Japanese wigwam?
Ah, now, boys, I know it sounds strange, but it's the truth I'm telling you.
How did you get this map, Mr. Mortgage?
From a Chinese, God rest his heathen soul. I did him a sort of a favor once.
You did him a sort of a favor, and he tells you where to find a fortune and rubies?
How come there's a Chinese pagoda full of rubies in Mexico?
If you know the facts, me buckles, it wasn't the Spanish who first set foot in these shores. Huh? It was the Chinese.
Come on, you guys.
Thanks, Mr. Mortgage. We're sorry to take up your time.
Oh, no, wait a minute. It's a nice trip on a good, sound schooner. And if you like sailing, what have you got to lose?
And there was nothing to lose except the $200 a head he charged to outfit the schooner. That was cheap enough for a summer's cruise, and we all liked sailing. Well, we took it easy after we left San Francisco, heading around the Cape of Lower California, hitting La Paz, and then up and across to Guaymas, and on into the northern part of the Gulf. And after 2 weeks of searching for a pair of bays marked by a granite pillar, we finally anchored in a small inlet to look for fresh water. Yeah, the relief from constant sailing was good.
Come on. Draw a card, will you, Chris?
Jim, you're blitzed. You're a lousy card player.
Yeah, you're just lucky, Pinhead.
That makes $500 you owe me.
Yeah. I'll pay you when we find the rubies.
You deadbeat.
Chin up, lads. We'll find that pillar yet.
Ah, nuts, Mortgage. We've looked into 50 of these bays. Why don't you cut out the act?
What are you talking about, lad?
Just come right out and say it. You cooked up this whole deal as a meal ticket.
You can't see anything through those binoculars except what we've already seen 100 times.
There isn't a hunk of granite in 500 miles. You know it.
Well, to think the thought could enter your mind. Why, I'm as put out as any of you. But now's the time to persevere, and we'll find it.
Skip it.
Come on,
Mortgage.
Hey, wait a minute. Now, there's something for you.
What?
There's a boat heading into the bay.
We scrambled up to Margaret at the bow. Boats were rare this far up the Gulf. She was just rounding into the bay a quarter-mile off. She looked like one of the fishermen we'd seen down by Guaymas, but not quite.
Better one of you get the guns out of the locker. There's no use taking any chances.
I'll get it.
By the time Meth came back with the guns on deck, the stranger was close inshore. And as she came about, we saw him through the binoculars, seated on the open stern, holding a yellow umbrella to keep off the sun. A Chinese dressed in gleaming white. He was mountainous with fat, and his big, round, smiling face glistened with sweat. Another Chinese, stripped to the waist, came out of the big cabin, lowered a dinghy, and hopped in. The big Chinese swung his rolling fat over the rail. We watched the fat man being rowed into shore and continued watching as the dinghy skipped back to the boat which headed out to sea. Until it rounded the horn of the bay, the Chinese just stood there. Then he picked up his yellow umbrella, turned, and waddled across the beach, lumbered over a dune, and was gone.
Oh, what do you make of that?
I don't know, but now's the time to find out. Let's go ashore.
Look at that guy's footprints. He must weigh a ton.
You said it, man.
Come on, boys, this way. Up the dune.
Yeah, I can't run that fast in this stuff.
Hey, boys! Boys!
What's got into him?
Well, get up the dune and we'll find out. Come on.
Call me a liar. Call a map a phony, will you? Look.
What? Where's the pillar? The granite pillar.
No wonder we couldn't find it. It's almost buried in the sand.
Will you look at the size of it?
The rubies, boys, we've as good as got 'em.
What about our fat friend? Looks like he has the same thing on his mind.
We follow him, me buckles. It's 4 with guns against the yellow umbrella. Come on, lad.
It all seemed real now. It wasn't a corny gag. Somewhere in that desert was a fortune in rubies. And apparently that Chinese was leading us to it. Ahead of us we could see the yellow umbrella bobbing in the distance. And for all his fat, he set us a murderous pace.
Why doesn't he stop? This is killing me.
He will, but we got to put closer to him. Save your breath.
But he didn't stop. He kept it up the rest of the day. And the sun was like a red-hot iron on our backs, and the heat waves danced off the desert like crazy devils. For a while, just before the sun set, the heat threw up a mirage.
and the fat bulk of the Chinese seemed to waddle through the sky. And then it was dark, and we lost him. Until...
Hey, look. He's coming back.
What?
Oh,
The Chinese. Huh. I come back to say I go 20 miles without no stop. You like to come all the way, I say nothing. Only tell you all the way nasty sound. You go back. Wish you present halt and return journey.
We're not going back.
Very well. Only I, experienced traveler, and put up with no complaints. Present conversation and all good friends at end of journey. You.
He means you, Johnny. What? Me?
You got nice, respectable face. Walk with me.
Okay.
My name, Santi. Very fine, rich Chinese merchant.
Well, where do you come from?
No matter. Where I go is important. Chanchan, very fine, holy place to end days in.
Holy place?
Oh, yes. You see, I am dedicated to high gods by parents when very little boy. They ask high gods I be given very fine, successful life. It is accomplished. Now, must pay our promises of parents to high gods.
Well, you're very lucky.
Luck? On 45th day of 45th year, I kneel before priests of high gods, pray before sacred rubies of Holy Grace Spirit, reflect on insignificance of life, and am soon strangled.
What? Strangled?
I give you honest word, being strangled at 45 is no joke. But cannot break promises of dead parents.
Well, maybe so, but
I arrange for you and friends to see ceremony. It is very dignified, interesting occurrence. Excuse me now. Please, I meditate.
He folded his hands inside his sleeves, dropped his chin on his chest, and drew ahead. We couldn't keep up with him, and 3 hours later we were still following the black holes the fat Chinese's feet had left behind. It was just an hour before dawn when we finally saw it. Chin, a large stone building with a few smaller ones tucked near it. How there could have been a lake in the middle of this impossible waste was beyond understanding, but there was, a small one, and we ran for it. It was the sweetest sight in the world. We sucked it up with our paws and mouths, lay in it, patted it, kissed it. Oh, it was beautiful.
Oh, I don't care if I ever see another French bathing suit again. Oh, you love me. What are you?
Where do you suppose to be head, huh?
What?
The rubies, me bucko, the rubies. How about that big building, huh? Looks like some sort of a heathen temple.
It is temple.
What?
Temple of high gods.
Sancti.
Oh, Sancti again.
You better travelers than I expect. You look a bit, then go home. Priests say very unhealthy place for unbelievers.
How many priests?
10 priests. Not many, but enough. Why you come to Chenchang?
We heard about it through a friend.
Now you see, you go before sunrise.
I couldn't move another step.
Why you come here? Maybe to steal very high god rubies? You leave very high god's ruby box alone. You with respectable face, take friends away.
I can't, Sancti. We've got to rest.
You wait till after interesting occurrence of strangulation, then you go.
For a man about to meet the high gods, you're pretty calm.
Oh, very miserable business, but parents make promise. What can do? It is time.
Well, me buckos, as the fat heathen says, it is time.
Yeah, this I gotta see.
Black as pitch. See anything?
No. Oh, wait. You hear it?
Easy.
It sounds like it's coming from somewhere in front.
Hey, look at that up there ahead. You see? Looks like it's suspended in midair.
Holy, it's the rubies, me buckos.
Gold caskets studded with them. Look at them glow.
Where's the light coming from?
That hole in the roof there. See? The sun's rising.
Hey, now look.
It's a heathen idol. And it's got a ruby box held in one of its hands.
And in the other hand, a snake. A little gray enamel snake. Watch it. Somebody's coming. A row of green-robed priests, eyes closed in silent prayer, began filing into the circle of light. One of them stepped in front of the idol, held up a long gray cord as if for the idol to see. The circle of light widened, and we saw the kneeling form of Sang-Ti. He wasn't smiling now. He looked sad and frightened. You don't think he's really going to get strangled? You got me. As if he'd been waiting for a signal, the priest stepped quickly in back of Sang-Ti, looped the cord over his neck, and jerked.
Like that!
C6H4 add CH3 taken twice. No, that's not Pig Latin, and it's not a secret code either. It's the scientific description of xylene. Xylene is one of the highest Adenauer gasoline components ever discovered by science. But here's the big news. Every drop of Richfield gasoline you buy contains xylene. Richfield gasoline contains this super Adenauer component to take the knock out of hill climbing, to put a new wallop in your motor, to zip you out ahead in traffic, give you power to spare on the open road. And Richfield offers you two great gasolines to choose from, both with xylene. Get Richfield High Octane at regular price for the average motor, or Richfield Ethyl. Ethyl at its best for smooth, knockless performance in the highest compression motors. Get Richfield gasoline with xylene tomorrow. Stop where you see the Richfield Eagle on the cream and blue pumps. And now we return you to Escape.
You got him, Dodge. You got the priest, the murdering hyena. Come on.
Come on.
Hey, careful. Them other priests in here somewhere.
Sang-Ti.
Is he all right?
No, his neck's broken. He's dead.
Skip the fat Eden. One of you reach for the ruby casket. I'll get him. Holy Moses, that must be worth a fortune.
Look out, Meth. The snake. The snake's not part of the idol. It's alive. The little gray snake struck at his hand like lightning. As Meth fell, it was already on the floor racing at Mogridge, who had grabbed their ruby casket. He smashed at it with his rifle butt, breaking the tail, and it slithered away under the idol. We looked at Meth. He was horrible, purple, like he'd been dead a week. We ran out into the desert.
Wait up, will you? Oh, I can't keep this up in me buckles. This thing is heavy. There.
Let's see that casket, Mortgage. Look at him, Johnny. We're rich, you know that? We're rich.
Doesn't it mean anything to you that Meth is dead? He's dead.
Yeah, sure it means something, Johnny. It means we only split it 3 ways.
Is that all you can think about?
What do you want to do? Send him his share?
Forget it. Forget I said anything. Let's get out of here.
Now, lads, calm down. There's 20 miles of Devil's Playground between us and the schooner, and we got to start using our heads.
Well.
Yeah, settle down, Johnny. It's going to be a hot day.
The rubies flamed in the early sun. Crisp leered at them, and Mogridge's face had a look I'd never seen before. All they meant to me was meth and that sudden, horrible death. I don't remember it getting hot. It just was.
It jerks not to get that water out of the lake.
You feel like going back?
Not me. I got what I came after. Are we going the right way?
Yeah. Sun sets in the west. We'll be walking right into it.
How far we come?
I don't know. I don't know anything except that it's hot.
Here, Chris. It's your turn to carry the casket. Oh, it's a job lugging that thing.
All right. Here, Johnny.
No.
You take the rifle.
I'll take it for you, me bucko.
No, Johnny will carry it.
Why, of course, me fine boy.
Well, give it to me. Let's get going.
I wish this thing was split 3 ways already. It wouldn't be so heavy.
Seemed like the day was endless. The casket passed from Crisp to me and back to Morgridge. I got heavier each time. I didn't think of meth anymore. The sun burned all thought of him out of my brain as it headed down for the horizon with maddening slowness.
How much longer is it going to hang there?
It's enough to drive a man crazy.
Hey, let's stop. I gotta stop.
We can't stop. We'll never be able to get up.
I'm no fat Chinese. I can't walk 20 miles without a stop.
If only one of them late mirages was real.
Look, do you see it? Over there on the left.
Yeah. Looks like somebody walking in the sky just over them dunes.
Looks like one of them priests.
Don't you see what it means? We saw the same thing when we were following Sang-Ti.
I mean, well, them priests is following us?
Yes, it's the casket. He wants the casket.
Now, don't get all excited. Remember, we got the gun.
There's only one of the devils. Just let him show.
He knows we've got a gun. He won't show while there's still sunlight. He'll wait for the darkest time, just before the moon.
Well, what could he do?
I don't know what he could do, and I don't want to find out either.
Johnny's right. That's when he'd try.
Yeah. You know, I'm not as tired as I thought.
We best be moving along, me buckos.
Yeah.
There goes the sun.
We didn't run. We couldn't. Crisp was carrying the casket, and we had to stay together. All day we'd prayed for the sun to go down, and now that it had, we almost wished it was still there. The blackness was sudden and complete. We kept walking, waiting, ready for anything. But nothing happened. The dark hour passed and the moon rose.
We fooled him.
It seems that we did, me buckos. If he was there at all.
He was there, all right. Those priests let us get away too easy.
Look, you guys. Let's stop. I'm bushed. There's enough moonlight now to see anything.
We'll be making it to the schooner tomorrow, easy.
It's my turn with the rubies. I'll stand first watch.
Well, I guess it's safe. Moon's pretty bright.
Oh, my bones. My muscles.
We dropped where we stood. I think what woke me was the moonlight creeping under the brim of my hat. I felt cold. I sat up and saw Crisp was asleep. His hat had slipped down over his face, but his fingers were still wrapped tight around the casket. I looked across the desert and froze. Just for an instant, I saw a yellow face duck back behind a low dune. When I got to where I had seen it, there was nothing. Not even a mark in the sand. But I had seen a face. Morgridge and Crisp were still dead asleep, only it seemed that Crisp's hat had slipped a little. And then it actually shifted, rose, and settled back. Crisp, are you awake?
What?
Don't move, Crisp. It's the snake.
Kill it! What's happened?
Crisp is dead. Look at it. It was under his hat all the time. It's the little gray snake with a broken tail. That Chinese is hunting us down.
Which way did it go?
There. You see the track?
You missed it?
Yes, I missed it. And it's coming back. It'll keep coming back until it gets us.
We gotta get to the schooner.
Leave the casket, Morgridge. That's what they want. Hasn't it caused enough trouble?
It takes a bit of trouble to get rich, Johnny, me boy. And I don't mind it a bit. Johnny, me bucko. I gotta have one. Oh, help me, Johnny.
There isn't any. We've got to get to the schooner.
I know the signs, Johnny. There's water out here. Help me look.
Don't, Margaret. You'll drive yourself crazy.
Crazy, is it? Don't call me crazy. It's you. Look over there. It's bushes. Green bushes.
There's nothing, I tell you. It's just sand.
Now, don't lie, Johnny. Don't lie. I'll go fetch you, Drop. It'll make you feel better. You watch after the rubies, and I'll fetch you.
No, come back, Margaret. We've got to go on.
Stay with the rubies, Johnny.
I watched him work his way over, stumbling in the sand. And then suddenly I saw it. There was something green. Margaret! Margaret, I see it!
I see it too.
Water! It's water!
No, Margaret. It's silk. Green silk.
He wasn't crazy now, and neither was I. The green-robed priest rose up out of the desert, and in his hand he held the little gray snake. Morgridge was running back. Then there was darkness in my eyes, and I was running desperately with something heavy clutched in my arms. We only stopped when it was broad daylight, and the sense of fear came to an end.
Is he following?
Oh, no.
That was a close one, the dirty heathen.
Morgridge, do you feel it?
What?
The breeze. Oh, it's cool.
Sea breeze. It's the Gulf, me bucko. We've made it.
Look, I see it. The schooner.
There's a whole cask of water right in deck.
The tide's up. Let's get out of here. The two of us can handle the schooner, can't we?
Even one. I done it many times. Johnny. Step away from the rubies, Johnny.
What?
Johnny, lad, you see the gun. Now step away from the rubies.
Morgridge, you're kidding.
You don't think I'd cut you in a fortune in rubies for $200, do you now?
Put down the gun.
I didn't plan on you getting this far. I needed the three of you to carry the box. But now the box is here aboard the schooner. So step back to the rail, Johnny.
Morgridge.
Step back, Johnny. That's a fine boy.
I realized everything now. Morgridge knew that Sang Ti would come. He knew where the bay was in the fallen pillar. It led us like sheep. And I was going to die, too, in that desolate place. I felt the rail of the schooner against my legs.
But before you go, maybe you'd like one last look at the rubies, huh? I hold them up. Oh, ain't they beauties?
Then I saw it. The little gray snake slithering across the deck behind Morgridge. But he didn't see it.
Ain't they beauties, Johnny? Look at the colors. Red like blood and worth a fortune that won't be divided. Won't be divided at all.
And then the snake struck. I looked at Morgridge. His color began to change. It was horrible. Horrible.
Tumanay.
Huh? It was the priest standing on the deck beyond Morgridge. And in his hand was the little gray snake. He picked up the ruby box, slipped the snake inside as if it had been a rare string of pearls. And then he bowed and was gone over the schooner's rail. I saw his green robe bobbing into the desert, and the rubies flashing blood red in the sun.
You don't need a fortune teller to tell you this. From now on, you'll probably have to wait longer for a new car. So don't neglect the car you've got. See to it that all points have the protection they need to save wear and breakdown in hot summer weather. And to give you that needed protection, Richfield All Point Safety Service is made to order. Richfield All Point Service gives your car the sturdy protection of Rich Lube lithium lubricant, the premium lubricant that's better all ways. You'll get expert protection for your motor, chassis, transmission, differential, and wheel bearings. Lubrication that stands up under the toughest summer driving. If you have automatic transmission, you'll get top-rated Richfield automatic transmission fluid. And finally, as an extra precaution, you'll get a safety check on your battery, tires, spark plugs, and radiator. So tomorrow, stop where you see the Richfield Eagle on the cream and blue pumps. Get Richfield All Point Safety Service. Escape is produced and directed by Norman McDonald. And tonight has presented The Footprint by Governor Morris, adapted for radio by Richard Chandley. Featured in tonight's cast were Bill Conrad, Charles Davis, Luke Krugman, Tom Holland, and Ramsey Hill. Special music arranged and played by Ivan Ditmars. Next week.
You are creeping through the dark streets of Paris in the middle of the night. Ahead of you, the Gestapo is lying in wait, and relentlessly tracking you down from behind is a murderous madman from whom there is no escape.
Next week at this time, the Richfield Oil Corporation of New York invites you to escape with the most unusual story of fright and terror in occupied Paris, as Marcel Aimé tells it in his unforgettable story, Crossing Paris. Be listening. Goodbye then until this same time next week, when once again we offer you Escape. Tom Hanlon speaking over CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Adventure? Want to get away from it all? We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of the day for a half hour of high adventure. It's time to escape with an exciting story of men and women whose dramatic lives will carry you beyond the horizons of the ordinary scene to a fascinating world of secret enterprise, strange experience, unforgettable adventure. The charmed world of Escape. Tonight, we escape with the most unusual story of suspense and terror in occupied Paris, as Marcel Aimé tells it in his unforgettable tale, Crossing Paris.
If you had been in Paris during the occupation by the Nazis, the filthy Boche, you would have seen a lot of interesting things. You might even have caught a glimpse of men stealing through the streets at night as inconspicuously as possible for a man carrying a heavily loaded valise in his hand. These valises were lined inside with canvas to prevent the leakage of any telltale drops of blood. And they belonged to my employer, Monsieur Jambouillet, in whose cellar the original butchering was accomplished. Quite often I worked with an assistant carrier, usually Le Tambour. One winter afternoon, I set out to meet Le Tambour at the Café Voltaire on the Boulevard de la Bastille. The trees were bright with frost, and the day seemed dying of cold. It was nearly dark when I reached the Café Voltaire and went in. I went straight up to the bar.
What will it be? You look cold enough for a brandy.
I can drink brandy in any season. So can Le Tambour.
Yeah, this will warm your bones. Le Tambour was in. He said to tell you he wasn't free tonight.
Cassie, how can he behave like that? He has no respect for his work.
Respect for our work. Who is this, Le Tambour? Respect for our work.
Oh, peace, monsieur. I'm talking to the bartender. It's no affair of yours.
But it's you whose affair it is.
He put his glass down and staggered up to me, fist-raised. At the same moment, a huge man with a head like a ram suddenly slipped around from behind me, caught the drunk's chin in his big hand, and pushed him backwards with a powerful thrust.
I get it now. The police always travel in pairs.
We're not police, you idiot.
Yes, police written all over them. Well, then let's go, my lad. Pay for our drinks now, and we'll report to the station for duty. Pay off and let's pay off, huh?
I don't know why, but I paid. And then, still laughing, the big one took me by the arm and we started
Come
out.
along.
He was a rough fellow, probably a laborer. Dressed as he was in a spotted shiny suit and a dark turtleneck sweater. The tight blonde curls that made his huge head gave him the appearance of a great ram. When we reached the street, the night was already black with high, icy winds.
Well, that was a squalid scene.
The man was drunk, but I could have handled him. I carry a knife, you know. You didn't have to interfere.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
Well, anyway, you probably saved him from being cut up.
But I didn't realize you were going to cut him up. My apologies, monsieur.
You are a bloodthirsty brute. What do you do? What is your trade?
Oh, this and that. I manage.
Look here. You're a strong fellow, and if you're not afraid of a little risk, I can give you a job tonight as my assistant. It pays well, too.
How much?
400 francs?
You're on.
But you don't even want to know what it is?
You're an assassin.
Of course not. I'm a man of honor above all.
What difference does it make?
You're an odd type. All right, then, let's turn off here. First, we must go to the Rue Polevo. Our work starts there.
Good, but let's walk faster. I'm cold.
It's me, Pierre. Who's the other one? Le Tombeau ducked out on me tonight, so I've asked my friend Grosjean here to take his place. But he's all right.
Hurry then. You're late.
We followed Monsieur Jean across the cellar to a big table where stained white cloth covered a shapeless form. He proudly removed the shroud, revealing a whole hog which had been cut neatly into a dozen portions. Then he stood back and allowed us to feast our eyes.
He's a beauty. No?
How much does he weigh?
200 pounds. But divided into 4 valises? You manage him all right.
It's easy to see you've never carried 100 pounds of black market pig about Paris.
No wasting time. Hand me a valise under the table.
Where let him go tonight?
To Montmartre, butcher shop. In the Rue Goulencourt, number 43. And one thing now. To arrange his deliveries, he must have the meat there by 2 a.m. 2 a.m.? If you are late, he will not accept it. But no distance for a young man like you. But
how much are you giving us?
Now, Pierre, a bargain is a bargain.
But not. That's a different matter.
You're perfectly well. I can't risk keeping the pig here, and it's too late to get anybody else to
carry 200 pounds of black market meat all the way across Paris in the dead of night with the police lying in wait for us at every turn along the way.
All right. You'll get 50 francs more.
I want respect to be paid for my work. Not just a tip.
500 then. But not a sou more.
It is hard work and it involves great risk. 600 francs.
Monsieur Javlier, tell me, is this really number 45?
Why do you ask that?
No reason at all, because I know the answer. Monsieur Jamblier, 45 Rue Polevo.
Who is this man, Pierre?
Danger, you will do me the courtesy of keeping your mouth shut. I do the talking here. Now, you agree then to 600 francs.
Monsieur Jamblier, 45 Rue Polevo, my share will be 1,000 francs.
Are you mad? Don't pay any attention to him. He's my assistant, so you just give me 2 times 600 francs and I'll settle with him later.
All right, then here, take it. I can't have you here all night.
Jamblier, 45 Rue Polevo, now my share will be 1,500 francs.
Jamblier stood as if frozen, his jaws clenched. The man was not even looking at him, but instead he walked nonchalantly around the cellar, examining the foodstuffs stored there. He spied a string of sausage hanging on the wall, jerked it off, stuffed it into the pocket of his jacket. Then he found a large paper sack and burst it with the end of his index finger. A stream of lentils ran out through the hole and onto the floor.
Monsieur Jamblier, 45 Rue Polevo, give me 2,000 francs. Or shall I wreck this place?
Jamblier looked at him fearfully for a moment.
Then he pulled a fat billfold from his pocket and handed 2 notes of 1,000 francs each to the ram, with part of the day's family and part of Fred on his life. I started toward Draught to make him tell you mine. Alone. I can't afford a row here. I don't want a row, but after all, he's my ex-sister. This is my cellar. I paid out enough money to have peace here at least. You can settle with him, Lisa. Right now we've got to finish packing the valise. It's late. All right, you're the boss. Come on, let's get it done. I'd postpone this whole thing if I could. We went back to the table and finished wrapping and fitting the sections of pork into the valise. Draught sat across the cellar on a wine barrel, eating a thick slice of ham he'd found. When we were packed, he got up, came over to pick up his 2 valises. This apparent willingness seemed to impress Jean-Louis, and when we reached the door, he stuck a pack of cigarettes into the ram's pocket. That's for the 2 of you. For the trip. Cigarettes at night, a fine way to get ourselves picked up. Oh, come now, Pierre. Don't worry, sir.
I have to have 2,000 francs more.
Not a sou.
Give me 2,000 francs, for heaven's sake, Jean-Louis! 2,000 francs,
Stop it, you got the police on you. Blackmailer here. Take them and go. Shut up in the name of Mary. Shut up. Open the door. Let's get out of here. I'll settle with you later, my fine friend.
Jean-Louis, I now have to have another 2,000.
Quiet. I couldn't stop. Now, don't you dare pull anything like that again. What's the matter with you anyway? Do you want to go to jail? I'm really now.
Chirping at me, or I'll pinch your head off and let you bleed.
Well, I don't want any trouble, but after all, I've given you a job. This is my work, and you should have some respect for it.
That's for your job. I've got it. Yes. Come on, little one. Let's get it over with, huh? Come on. Come on, I said.
It's the obligation of all of us to participate in the effort being expended to protect democracy. Our national security and the current United Nations police action in Korea demands that the size of our armed forces be increased. If you're between the ages of 17 and 34, support the United Nations police action by enlisting in the United States Army or Air Force. Men are vitally needed for important jobs in all departments of the Army and Air Force. Strength is needed in the Far East. To have strength requires manpower. Young men who are eligible for selective service have the vigor and imagination that are necessary for an effective Army and Air Force. Volunteer to serve your nation. Be a part of the Army and Air Force and take part on your own team of young men. See your local recruiting sergeant and volunteer to enlist today. Do it now. Yes, if you're between 13 to 34, enlist in the Army or Air Force now.
This Draught was a sinister character. He blackmailed Jean-Louis out of 5,000 francs and then threatened me with I don't quite know what. Still, there was nothing to do but follow him. It was too late to get anyone else to help me carry Jean-Louis' black market Pete in Montmartre. Besides, when I start a job, I finish it. A frozen wind whistled down the Rue Poirot, stiffening our fingers on the valise handles. We walked slowly with heads down.
Where do we cross the river?
We'll have to go up to the Ile Saint-Louis. Too near the railway station down here. Too many police patrols and German soldiers around here.
Well, let's hurry then. My hands are turning to stone.
The oily water in the Seine was black as coal, and along the banks the bare trees stood bleak and spectral. Finally we reached the Ile Saint-Louis, and with a cord turned into the first side street for a moment's respite from the paralyzing north wind.
It's a wonder that air doesn't freeze. Why in the name of heaven do you work at this job?
I make my living this way. Every man to his trade.
Well, it's not much fun. Plowing around in the night with valises full of lead, your face cracking with the cold, and all for the benefit of a thieving rascal like that Jean-Louis.
You made out all right with Jean-Louis?
You want some of it?
If it had been just between you and Jean-Blais, all right. But I'm the one that brought you there. In my work, I am strictly honest. Let us go.
Wait just a moment. Now tell me, how much can you get for pork in the black market?
Forget it.
75 francs a pound?
Forget it,
I'm sure we could sell Jean-Blais' pig at 75 francs a pound. That would give us 30,000 francs. 15,000 apiece of easy money, so instead of killing ourselves in this...
Listen, stand absolutely still. Now.
Oh, fine. Very good. Thank you, Nancy. You could only have a cigarette and it's cold. Oh, we can't smoke on. It would help to warm us a bit.
That was close. Come on, let's get out of here. Follow me in hurry, or we'll never make it by 2 a.m. We walked along silently. The moon was still hidden, but the night had grown lighter and consequently more dangerous for us. After a block or two, I suddenly sensed the girl's was no longer behind me, and turning, I saw him halfway across the street, headed toward a line of blue light that framed the doorway of the cafe.
I'm going to get a shot of liquor!
Come back here, you fool! You can't tell that fucking man!
I won't be long!
He was already opening the door. Curse him! No telling what he was up to now. But in any event, I couldn't leave him there with Jean-Blais' pork. So I crossed the room, followed him inside. Several men who looked like Kurtz were playing cards at a table. The proprietor's wife sat knitting a sock behind the cash register, looking suspiciously at Don Gilles, who was already standing at the bar, one foot resting on his valises.
Proprietor, give us some mulled wine.
This is my closing time.
Give us some mulled wine.
You're not running into my face with the police at your heels, are you?
Give us some mulled wine.
No, don't close a row with me.
Mulled wine, proprietor, mulled wine.
Shut up, I tell you. If you quiet down, monsieur, I'll get it for you.
Oh. Thank you, madame.
The proprietor's wife went out through a low door at the back, and Jean turned and stared at the 4 clerks who had stopped their card game.
You! No lights. There are 4 of you sitting there. You're half-starved on rotten carrots and sawdust pudding. You're smoking corn silk, all of you. And there's enough good, fat pork in these valises to make you rich. Well, what's to keep you from making off with it? You know well enough we're in no position to repose.
Get out
of here, you filthy paupers! Get out and howl against the black market! You rebel scum! What good does it do to make laws if they're not respected? You're brigands, anarchists, disloyal Frenchmen, all of you!
Oh, Gilles, have you lost your mind? Maybe you don't care what happens to you, but I do.
You don't say. You there, proprietor. Where did your lobster of a wife go? I can't wait all night. Get us some brandy. Get us some brandy, I said.
One, then. One, but please, no more. It's past closing time already.
Here's to you, little Pierre. You who are as timid as a girl, but whose charm I cannot resist. Your valises full of pork that these cowards refuse to take. I will carry as far as Le Havre on foot, on my knees, for you.
Here's your mulled wine, monsieur. Oh, but you have...
Give it to me, madame. Give me your pitcher of mulled wine, huh?
She approached him with hesitation and placed the pitcher on the bar.
Thank you.
The man reached out, seized it with both hands, and heaved it with all his strength against the wall, where it scattered on the belly of a springboard. The unhappy couple dared not even turn their heads to ascertain the damage.
Excellent! Yes. And now my valises. Come, little Pierre. I wish never to see these wretched people again. Baboons, I ignore you. I erase you from my memory forever.
I followed it out, wondering how in the world I could keep this monstrous madman from getting us picked up by the police. The moon had come out now, and the center of the street looked like an arrow of brightness, while the shadows along the sidewalk offered dangerous possibilities of surprise. Grandjean threw away his cigarette as we approached the first street crossing. We had just reached the opposite curb when a man's voice rang out from the dark only 3 yards in front of us.
Stand where you are. No tricks now. What are you carrying in those valises?
Before taking that turn, you'd do well to identify yourself.
It's the police. You saw me well enough.
The police? Well, I'm certainly glad we ran into you. I've been looking for somebody to show us how to get to the Rue Sevigny.
You're going away from it. And I think...
You didn't tell me. Did you hear that? The Rue Sevigny is behind us. Well, then we just have to turn back.
Later, perhaps. Right now, you're going with me to the station.
Oh, maybe rest a moment first. We walked a long way looking for the Rue Sevigny. Perhaps I can explain.
No need for that. Come along now.
I put my valises down anyway, thinking it would give me a chance to talk him out of this. And the man, bending his knees slightly, put his down also, and then suddenly straightened up, smashing his arm down on the floor with his heavy fist. The poor man doubled his knees and fell flat. D'Argent bent over him for a moment, then grabbed his hat and threw it into the middle of the street. The visor shone there in the moonlight.
Well, let's go.
That was smart. As soon as he comes to, he'll grab his whistle. In 5 minutes, all the police in the arrondissement will be after us.
That would surprise me. I have his whistle in my pocket.
And wait a minute. Now what will we do? We don't dare go into a shelter with this meat.
I live only 2 blocks from here. Come on.
In spite of carrying 100 pounds apiece of that cursed pig, we ran all the way. But at last we burst and lunge. And then I stopped a moment inside the door to catch my breath before climbing to the top floor where he said he lived. The van went on ahead, and the door was open when I finally arrived.
Come in, come in. I'll have a fire going in the stove in a moment.
It was a large, comfortable studio. I set my valises down near the door and stood there until D'Argent drew a blackout curtain over the window and turned on the light. There were several easels in the room, and on the table near the window was spread out a number of drawings and paintings.
Surprised?
You're a painter?
Yes, I'm a painter.
You did all those?
I sell most of them around Montmartre. But since the German occupation, amusingly enough, not always for money, I barter. Only last week, for example, I sold a woman wearing nothing but high-heeled shoes and an opera hat. And do you know what I got? A ham. But here's one I've been commissioned for that will bring 100,000 francs. You like it?
No.
Because it's the portrait of a Nazi.
Perhaps. And because it's no good.
You're still angry with me, aren't you?
I don't know what to think of you.
Think what you like, then. I'm going to eat something.
The stove had commenced to glow, so I sat down in the easy chair next to it and slowly came down and explosion was. And then the bell started ringing somewhere and woke me out of a sound sleep.
Ronchina speaking. Sissy. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. No, Pierre Martin, What? No, you don't know him. Pierre Martin is a little gutter rat who works in the black market. Yes. He gave me a job, the poor idiot. Oh, I had great fun. Wore dirty clothes, played the role of a tough, a Satanist, a thief. Oh, it was very amusing, I assure you. What? Oh, no.
Slumming. He was slumming. Mocking me. Making fun of my work. Laughing to himself all the time. I'll show you.
Pierre, such gentle little one. Oh, now, don't be angry.
You, George, and I thought you were hard up. I wanted to help you. And you, the gentleman, feeding himself to a taste of what I suppose you call the underworld. Like a stinking tourist.
Is there a reward up for you, Pierre?
It's stealing, that's what it is. You should have left the work to a man who needed it. You have no honor. No respect for work. You're a filthy rat.
Oh, but I have. Come over here. Look, I drew a portrait of you while you slept. Perhaps you will like this picture.
I don't even want to look at it. What do you think I am? Me, I earn my keep. I work hard. You and your nothing. 100,000 francs commission, you've done everything to make trouble for me. My work is amusing, eh? Well, I'll show you what I think of you.
Yeah, what are you up to?
Then it was the rules of the hell the portrait of the Nazi.
plunged my knife into it as a cop and went down. I was about to flash it across the middle of the dog being used, Boris knife in the knee, and fell over to the floor. I was slowly chopping my life out with his 6 fingers. I began to beat the floor, and I through my open mouth. He struck the knife with one hand and seized it. My eyes were turning back in my head as I flashed out of his wrist. He let out a howl and sat back watching the blood drip from one hand. I was too weak to move, so I lay there holding my knife over my chest, pointing it at him. Suddenly his eyes went white with insane rage, and before I could move, he threw himself on top of me again. My knife had been driven straight into his heart. His legs touched the wheel, nearly still. I looked at him, unbelievingly. I was never killed. I never wanted to kill anyone. I covered my... To the butcher shop in the north. All right, I've waited. All there. Of course it is. I'm a man of honor, monsieur. I can see that. You made it on time, too. But didn't you have an assistant? I understood from the place. It seems that my assistant, monsieur, didn't really need the work. I was forced to dismiss him. Well, anyway, you made it. Oh, yes, I always finish any job I start, monsieur. To one day, I remember that Danger had said my name to a girl over the phone, and that my portrait sat waiting for the police in the studio. I put the 5,000 francs which I had taken from the body into an envelope and addressed it to Jean-Guillet. I dropped it in the mailbox and walked slowly down to the big market and laid on. It was almost dawn when I reached it. The heavily loaded pushcarts were stacked up in the side streets, smelling green vegetables and berries. The gutters were slippery with garbage, and lonely women in pink satin pumps were staggering wearily through the filth at the end of the all-night house. I sat down on the curb and watched her and said to myself, will none of us do what we wish to do? Do we live?
The Army and Air Force is proud of its soldiers and airmen. Today's members of the armed forces have finer training, better equipment than ever before, and a strong, flexible defense of intelligent young men and women. We in America can maintain this effectiveness only by building strength and remaining strong. To have strength requires manpower, and men are vitally needed to support our forces in the Far East. You young men eligible for selective service make for the vigor, flexibility, and imagination that are necessary in an effective Army and Air Force. If you're of draft age and haven't yet received notice to report for pre-induction physical, volunteer to serve your nation now. Be a part of the Army and Air Force. Stop in at your nearest Army and Air Force recruiting station today and get the details. Volunteer your services now while you can still choose. Don't delay. Enlist today. Escape was produced and directed by Norman MacDonald, and tonight has presented Crossing Paris by Marcel Aimé. Adapted for radio by John Meston and starring Jay Novella with Bill Conrad. Featured in tonight's cast, were Howard McNair, Barney Phillips, Edgar Barrier, V.B. Janis, and Paul Frees. Special music was arranged and played by Ivan Ditmars. Starting next Thursday night over most of these same stations, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense, will return to the air. As its first star, Suspense presents Mr. Pat O'Brien in a thrilling story entitled True Report. Remember, radio's prize-winning mystery program, Suspense, returns to the air next Thursday night. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
You, finding life pretty dull? You, dreaming again of exotic places, wishing you were somewhere else? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
Escape with us now to a ship on the high seas and a cargo of mutinous criminals, as Weston Martyr tells it in his gripping story, A Sleeping Draft.
That helps. But it's like I say, you can't forget. You can never forget. It's at night that you think about it, with the water outside rushing past the hull. That's when you think, and it can never be the same. You can't trust anybody. Never. Not a soul. I can tell you, you just can't trust them. Not even yourself. What is it, mister?
Mr. Finch says he's ready to board, sir.
Oh, he is, eh? All right, I'm not stopping him.
Sir.
Yes?
He insists on bringing them aboard one at a time.
What? Does he think I'm going to miss the tide? There's over 400 of them. It'll take hours.
Well, that's what I said, sir, but...
I'm captain of this blasted hulk, or what she is, but I'll not be told by a slum-gullion landsman what to do.
Mr. Finch! Come aboard, if you please!
I'm sorry, sir. I should have resigned. Stinking, toothy, poor devil cargo.
Everything high cockalorum, Captain?
No, everything is not high cockalorum. What in blazes do you mean ordering my mate about?
No offense intended. Ain't none taken, I hope.
I want those scurvy wretches aboard now. All of them. You put them below and we'll weigh anchor.
One at a time, sir. One at a time. We've got to search them.
Why didn't you do that before you took them out of jail?
There's many a slip, Captain, if you know what I mean. You'd be surprised what those swine can pick up between jail and the docks. It ain't safe. Now, we've got to search them. One at a time, and that's a fact. You let me handle this, Captain. It ain't no ordinary cargo, you know. They're murdering devils. Every last one of them.
The convicts came aboard, one by one. I watched them. They were going from London to a land they'd never seen. A colony had bought them. Australia. 400. The sweepings and scrapings sorted out from the muck of the jails, with Finch in charge of them. Oh, I've carried dirty cargoes. Dye wood, for instance, crawling with scorpions and spiders, not to mention snakes. And then there's cattle. But this, weeks and months at sea with a human cargo who'd as soon cut your throat as spit. And what made it worse was, I felt sorry for the poor beggars. I watched them come aboard until there were 2 left.
Name? Wilkes is the name. Search him.
Take your bleeding hands off me. I've got nothing. Just stole my last farthing. Shut your jaw.
That's enough, Finch. I won't have the cat used on my ship. I'll get enough of it where they're going.
You're a trusting soul you are, Captain. How would you like that between your ribs? The touch of the cat's a lot better than letting the swine bring a knife aboard, eh? Take 'em below. I don't know how they do it. Help me, I don't. You've got to watch for them knives. Next!
Right.
Oh, here's a terror. Look at the size of him. Dangerous swine. 3 murders in Australia. Escaped. He's in for it when he gets back. Name?
Abbey. Jonathan Abbey.
Abbey. Well. A gentleman in chains. Oh, I'm sorry, Your Worship. Forgive us for daring to lay hands on Your Highness. I'm sure as how you've been wrongly accused.
That's enough, Finch.
Search him. Then take him below. I want Mr. Jonathan Abbey shackled. He's a prize. We mustn't let anything happen to him.
From the day we left London docks, I'd taken a violent dislike to Finch. He seemed to be happiest when he was laying about with his cat on the convicts herded like sheep below decks. He kept them quiet enough, but one night I decided to have it out with him in my cabin. Oh, I made it strong, I can tell you, so that even he could understand what I meant.
You all finished, Captain? All right. Now, you hear me out. They're a bad lot. 400 of them. All bound for Australia, and they don't want to go. You follow me? There's that bloke Abbey. As soon as we touch Sydney, the time's up for him. They'll hang him, sure.
That doesn't mean that you have the right to make life even worse for them here.
Oh, no? If I don't, where do you think we'll be? You, me, your mates. And the crew, oh, from what I've seen of them, they're not much better than what's below.
You're doing a lot of jawing, mister.
I am. What would you do if you were down there? I'll tell you. You'd get hold of the ship and clear out. That's what you'd do. And it'd be easy.
They're locked in and we've got a guard.
You don't know them like I do. There's another thing. When I searched them, there was 1 to 5 sovereigns stowed away on every man, earned or stolen. That'll come to over £1,000 by my figures.
They're entitled to that money. It's little enough to take to a wild country.
It's truth, but there's them down there what would slit the gullet of any man for 2 bob. And you asked me to be dainty with them.
That's the way he talked to me. And I can tell you I didn't feel easy anymore. I did something I hadn't done for a long time. I brought 2 pistols out from ship's stores and kept them under my pillow. It was when we got round the Horn that the first convict died. From scurvy. We had to put him over the side, of course, and there was a lot of grousing. I went down to the hold with Finch. It was hot and stinking.
Now, you let me talk to them, Captain. I'll put it to rights.
You tell them it couldn't be helped.
Don't you mind. I'll tell them.
Blimey. Here comes old bloody Pop. Oi, Finch. Did you steal the clothes off the poor beggar's back before you threw them in? Man, we ain't man dirty. We're dogs, haven't you? Why is the way to bury poor old Smithy in the ground instead of chuck them in the sea?
All right. We've got another 2 or 3 weeks before we reach land. I'll make a bargain with you. The next one what dies, now that it's getting nice and hot, I'll leave him down there, and you can take care of him and mourn till we get to Australia. How's that? I'll bet crown you don't keep him for 3 days.
That's old bloody Pop. Always a nose for business.
Well, if you ain't satisfied with that, I'll see that the hatch is closed down tight for the rest of the voyage. And you can boil for all of me.
That seemed to settle it for a time. I began to see that in spite of Finch's hardness with them, the prisoners knew he was master and behaved themselves. That is, most of them did. But there were others. And that's what began the trouble. We were 2 days out of the Cook Islands when it happened.
Yes? Captain, there's a man on deck. We brought him up from below. It's horrible.
Why, what's happened?
One of the convicts,
Oh,
all that blood, sir. Oh, devil. I tried to do something, but it was too late. By the time we got him up...
Fight, eh?
Yes, sir.
Here we are, Captain. Mr. Darling ain't much of a surgeon, I must say.
I did what I could. He must have been dead before we got him up here.
Why, he's been cut to pieces.
Not half he ain't.
How did it happen?
Oh, I heard him shouting. When I went down in the hold, there he was, propped up like against the bars, with his arms through holding him up.
He must have been dead. He must have been.
Poor devil.
Oh, him? No, he's dead. There's others in for it, though.
What do you mean?
Well, how'd you think he got cut up like that? Knives, Captain. Knives.
But you searched them before they boarded.
I did, and truth, I don't know how they come to do it. Small knives, Captain. Small knives. We're getting close to Australia. That's what it is. Whoever's got them knives, he's after money. The £1,000 or more what's on this cursed ship.
Well, I don't see...
You're a trusting soul, you are, Captain. Maybe there's a dozen of them. Maybe 20 with knives. Follow me? They'll run the others and rob 'em blind. Gold sovereigns, Captain. You didn't forget, did you? If anybody objects, cut him up in small pieces like him.
We've got to go down there and put a stop to it.
Yes, I don't think. How many guns you got aboard?
2 pistols and 4 muskets.
That's a fat lot of good. Oh, well, let's take the sweet with the sour. We can try. There's no harm in that. Mark my words, Captain. Before we get to Sydney, all of us probably will have our throats cut. Come on.
Finch and I, with 2 seamen, armed ourselves and went down into the hold and stood outside the bars. The men inside were quiet, very quiet. They just looked at us, dark like.
You, men!
I'll talk to them. Now listen to me. We know some of you are carrying knives. I want you to throw them out here. Nothing further will be said about it if you do as I say. Well?
Captain, dear, my porridge wasn't hot enough this morning. And please, sir, can I have sugar in it tomorrow?
That ain't the way to talk to this scum. The captain's a gentleman. I'm not. You know me, don't you?
We knows you all right.
You, Abby.
Yes?
I've a mind you're the leader down here.
Good old Abby.
I'm flattered, Mr. Finch, but you forget I'm shackled to my bunk. You saw to that.
You listen to me. I'm giving you till morning to throw them knives out here. Till morning. If every blasted one ain't out of your dirty hands, I'm going to have you flogged. Every ruddy one of you. 50 lashes. You hear me, Mr. Abbey?
I'll think about that.
Till morning. Then 50 lashes. You think about that, Mr. Abbey. I didn't think they'd give 'em to us that easy, Captain.
There's going to be trouble, though, with this flogging.
There'll be more if we don't get the knives away.
Good morning, Captain dear and Mr. Finch.
You filthy scum! Where's the knives?
Where they'll do the most good.
All right. I've given you a chance. I played fair. Now...
Mr. Finch, sir, may I have a word with you?
Oh, come to your senses, have you?
Bend closer to the bar, sir, because what I've got to say, I've got to whisper.
Well, what is it?
Mr. Finch.
Well, that's 100 lashes. Wilkes, I'll take you first and handle the cat myself.
Oh, no, sir. No. Why not take him first? He won't feel it like I will.
The crowd of men parted suddenly, and from out of them was pushed what had once been a man. It fell against the bars. Then, no longer with the support of living arms, it slid to the deck. We looked at him, Finch and me. His life had been worth a sovereign, maybe 2. He hadn't either now. And the knives were still in the hold with them that had killed him.
Tonight, some more of radio's greatest stars check in at CBS, the Star's address. The first you'll hear are Amos and Andy, who are going to be on hand with the Kingfish, Shorty the Barber, Algonquin J. Calhoun, and, of course, Sapphire. Then, a little later, Red Skelton. With Joey Adams, Eve Arden, Jack Benny, and Corliss Archer already on hand, be sure you add Amos and Andy and Red Skelton to your Sunday night listening dates starting tonight over most of these same CBS stations. And now, we return you to Escape.
Now, as I sees it, we've got to have a council of war, in a manner of speaking.
I'll tell you one thing, Mr. Finch. There'll be no flogging.
I can see you're a sharper, you are. No, that's right. Too dangerous. We ain't armed for it, and they're in a nasty mood. Now, we've got to be crafty, same as them.
I wish we could spill the whole lot of them overside.
Lose your contract for carrying him? Not bloody likely. Now, listen here. I'll get them knives. How? It's Abby behind this. He tells them what's what. Get him out, and the others will come around. Mark my words.
Are you going into the hole to get him?
No, not yet, not yet. Couldn't be safe now. Not for nobody to go in there. But in 4 or 5 days, after we cut off their water and food, seal the hatch, you see what happens.
They die.
They'll die from the knives then. Which do you want? They'll be begging you to take the ruddy knives in 3 days.
And if they don't?
We tell them to hand over Abby to us. But he's the one to blame for their misfortune. They'll do it.
All right. If it's the only way, I'll give the order.
But not just yet, Captain. We'll let them sit down there and wonder. Wonder what we're going to do about it. Some of them may get nervous. We'll let them wonder a bit.
I didn't see Finch the rest of the day. The barometer had fallen suddenly, and with it came a storm. I can tell you I had my hands full for the next 24 hours. There was no time to worry about what was going on in the hold of the ship, but I didn't think they'd have much stomach for knifing each other and killing. I was wrong. The next morning at breakfast, Finch didn't turn up. He didn't turn up at all. We searched the whole ship, and then I went down into the hold, and that's where he was. And he hadn't died quickly. Someone had held him against the bars, and the others had... He hadn't died quickly.
Good morning, Captain. Present for you.
Who did this? Who did it?
I wouldn't waste sleep mourning him, Captain. He was a bully, and no better than us, except that he was outside.
Abby, I thought you were shackled.
I was, but Mr. Finch kindly supplied the key to unfasten me.
You're going to pay for this. All of you. Now, where are the knives?
They're in here, Captain. How'd you like to come in and get them?
You'll pay for this!
You're repeating yourself, Captain. Good morning.
That blasted convict had dismissed me. Like I was a clerk in an office. And there wasn't anything I could do about it. With Finch out of the way, I knew I was an easy mark. It was the nights that got on my nerves. I could hear things happening. Lots of things. And it was awful. Those devils with the knives. And each morning we'd have to pull out 6 or a dozen, all cut about and bleeding. And most of them died. Those with the knives were getting money. Money they stole from the victims. I began to be afraid of my crewmen. One would take a bribe and let that murdering crowd out. I walked around with 2 pistols in my jacket all the time. And then, late one afternoon, something very bad happened. I was standing by the wheel. Yeah, here, boss.
He got off, sir.
Got out?
Who? The big one, Abby. 2 of us were standing guard. We heard a scream. It was Abby. He said he'd been stabbed. Benson here opened the grill to get him in. Abby bashed him on the head in both.
What about the others?
I got the grill closed in time. They're safe enough. He must be somewhere on the ship, sir. Unless he went overboard.
No, not that one. He's up to mischief. You take one of my pistols, mister.
Aye, sir.
You, Bosun, pass out the muskets. I want every inch of this ship searched. If he puts up a fight, shoot him. You hear me? Shoot him! The night comes quickly in southern parts. Did you ever try to search a ship at night with lanterns? It's not easy. Too many shadows, too many sounds which could be rats or a murderer who's bigger than what you are and could choke your life out in half a minute. We couldn't find him. But he was somewhere aboard, waiting his time. Because we were short-handed, what with the crew searching, I stood a watch. And I thought about that man who Finch said had committed 3 murders in Australia.
Don't turn around, Captain. It's only a little light. Don't move.
What do you want?
A talk.
I've nothing to say to the likes of you.
That may be. But I have an offer to make you.
An offer?
It's not safe here. One of your men will be along. Then we go to your cabin.
Do you think I'd trust a man like you? Alone?
You make it difficult for me. If someone comes, I may have to cut your throat.
I'd as soon have it cut on deck. Now, what do you want?
All right. You know what I'm in for when we reach Sydney.
Finch told me I've no pity for you.
I'm not asking for pity. I have an offer to make.
And I can do no more than listen.
The men below are planning to take the ship. I don't think they've got a chance, but they'll be killing. Those that have got the knives have got all the money, too. It's £1,200.
I'm aware of that, mister.
I can get the knives for you.
Huh?
All I want is the chance to get away before the ship docks.
How do I know it's not a trick?
Turn around, Captain. Here, my knife. Will that convince you? I'm unarmed. You must have a pistol. You can shoot me if you want.
What makes you think that you can get the knives away from them?
I can. That's all you need to know, but...
But?
Will you help me?
How can I trust you?
I don't know, Captain. Except that I think you do.
I couldn't help you openly, you know that. You were put aboard as a murderer. You're in my charge, and it's my job to turn you over to the police as soon as we arrive.
Then,
Well, if you could get the knives, though, I might be able to give you a chance to clear out.
That's all I want, the chance.
All right.
I must have a pistol.
What?
A pistol.
You take me for a fool.
No, it's the only way to get the knives.
I give you this pistol and you shoot me down? Not likely.
Captain, if I'd wanted to do that, I'd have cut your throat 2 minutes ago.
You're a murderer.
I know.
You can't have it.
It's either them or your ship, and probably your life. Well?
You talk like a gentleman, but suppose you want my pistol so that you can free them.
You just have to trust me as I'd trust you to give me a chance to get away.
Take it. Here.
What about the guards below? They'll shoot.
I'll take you down. Say I caught you.
How do I get out again when I've got the knives?
Send word that you want to see me.
All right. Captain, I'm trusting you now. I want that chance to get away.
We'll talk about it if you get the knives. I'll take you below now and come back tomorrow.
Keep your voice low. They think I'm tricking you into making a bargain. They think I stole the pistol. I told them that I had to have the knives to make you believe that we wouldn't make trouble. I said that we'd take over the ship tonight.
What do you want me to do?
Leave me the key to the grill. I'll slip out tonight and bring you the knives.
They'll want you to let them out, too.
No, I won't. I'll lock it.
How do I know you will?
You don't. You'll have to trust me.
Do they know about this plan?
All except for the fact that I'm going to lock them in once I'm out.
Give me the knives now.
No. They'd know something was wrong. I'd never get out alive. Give me the key.
All right. Here.
All right. Tonight.
I waited. And I can tell you that I didn't like it. The wind came up a bit, and I knew that before sunrise we would be in Sydney. That is, if I should trust a murderer. At 10 o'clock that night, there was a tap on my cabin door.
One of your crew nearly caught me coming down here. Well, I've kept my side of the bargain. Yeah. Oh, they're all there. You needn't worry. Here's your pistol.
You may need it.
Thanks. Now, how do I get away?
We'll be in port in about 6 hours if the wind holds. You stay aft in the longboat. When you hear the anchor go, drop over the side and swim for it. I'll try to anchor as close to land as possible before I take her in.
If I can land without being seen, I've got some friends who will hide me.
I don't want to know about it. Just remember, when the anchors lets go, that's your signal.
Thank you, Captain. I trust you. And, I'd like to shake hands with you.
I took the hand of the murderer, and we shook hands like old friends. And then he was gone. 2 hours later, the wind went down, and in its place came fog. thick, mucky fog. I had my hands full, what with danger from other ships and the blasted current that knocks you about off the harbor entrance. About 3 o'clock, the fog had shut in properly, and the blessed tide ran us all over the place. It was proper dangerous, I can tell you. We were about 15 miles offshore, and I didn't like the looks of things. There's shoals thereabout, and I sent the mate for it to heave the lead. I got a proper start when I heard him sing out, We'd got off course right enough, and at this rate, we'd shear the bottom clean over. I saw it was high time to bring the ship up and wait until we could see something.
Let go of the anchor! Let go of the anchor! Give her 35 fathoms to the water's edge, bosun! Hard shot!
None too soon, sir. She was shoaling fast.
Blasted current must be making 5 knots out to sea. Listen to her.
She's holding, sir!
The anchor! The anchor!
Abby!
I went to the longboat. It was empty. He'd heard the signal as the anchor paid out. He couldn't see in the fog and had gone overboard into a 5-knot tide running straight out to sea, 15 miles from shore. He trusted me. That's why I tell you, you shouldn't trust anybody. Sometimes it's hard sleeping at night. When you hear the water outside and you think, that's when it's hard to sleep.
Escape is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Today we have brought you A Sleeping Draught by Weston Martyr, adapted for radio by Anthony Ellis, with Ben Wright starred as Captain Godfrey. Featured in the cast were John Dodsworth, Bruce Payne, Anthony Barrett, John Boehner, and Lou Krugman. Special music was arranged and played by Ivan Ditmars.
Next week, escape with us to a train rushing through a European night, and a beautiful woman who demands your help, as Anthony Ellis tells it in his exciting story, Roulette.
Escape is the first in a series of CBS features recently programmed for your Sunday afternoon listening. Later this afternoon, you'll hear Make Believe Town, a series of dramas set in Hollywood with Mr. Walter Wanger as your host. Later, you will hear on most of these same CBS stations the first Sunday broadcast of Arthur Godfrey's Digest, a half hour of the cream of wit and humor from the Redheads weekday show on CBS. Earn Your Vacation also returns to CBS this Sunday afternoon. And starting next Sunday, Frank Sinatra checks in again at CBS, the Star's address, with his new hour-long radio program, so be sure to listen for Frank Sinatra. Stay tuned now for Make Believe Town with Mr. Walter Wanger as your host, which follows over many of these same stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking. This is CBS, where you enjoy the Contented Hour every Sunday night, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
You, finding life pretty dull? Dreaming again of exotic places? Wishing you were somewhere else? We offer you Escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today. for a half hour of high adventure.
Escape with us now to a train rushing through a European night and a beautiful woman who demands your help as Anthony Ellis tells it in his exciting story, Roulette.
Le numéro 12, au noir! Ah, ben alors, c'est bien ça, je vous dis franchement, Well, I'm afraid I haven't done in, Mr. McLennan.
Nay, laddie, let me...
Thanks awfully, sir, but no.
Ashan, it's against the laws of nature that the good Scot should gamble in the first place, so a few francs lent will only increase the McLennan clan's aggravation. You'll oblige me?
Very decent of you, Mr. McLennan, but I really couldn't.
Will you be leaving Monte Carlo?
Yes, Paris for 2 or 3 days, then the holiday's over.
Oh, you have the fare?
Yes, thanks.
Good. I expect to go to Paris myself in a couple of days. If you're still there, I wish you'd give me a ring. At George Sand.
Oh, I shall. Well, good luck at the wheel.
Roulette. The game for idiots, except I cannot lose. Good luck to you, Richard.
I'd been spending the summer holidays on a cycling tour of France. Father had insisted. Said it was part of my education. After 3 weeks, I'd seen half the cathedrals in the country and had developed a healthy loathing for bicycles as well. So, when I reached Avignon, I sold mine to a chap who was obliging enough to pay me far more than the blasted thing was worth. I knew the family at home would be terribly upset. But after all, I was 20, and I thought it was about time that they realized it. Trinity College was then 2 weeks away, and I decided, with the bicycle money, to have a lark in Monte Carlo. That's where I met Mr. McLennan. He was awfully decent, showed me about the place and chucked money about marvelously. I thought he was probably in some sort of black market business because he seemed quite hush-hush about everything. I had smashing luck the first 2 or 3 days at the casino, and then, well, as Father always said, gambling weakens the mind as well as the purse. When I left the roulette wheel that evening, I had just enough money for fare to Paris and home. There was a breeze blowing from the Mediterranean as I walked to my hotel. It was lovely, and I didn't have a care in the world.
Monsieur, please.
What?
Please, may I speak to you for a moment?
Oh, I say. Me? Oh, I say.
I must talk to you.
Really?
I was watching you tonight at the casino. You lost your money, didn't you?
Yes, I'm afraid so.
What would you say if I told you you could get it back and more? 50,000 francs.
50,000?
Please, we cannot talk here. Is there somewhere?
Well, yes, there's a cafe across the street.
No, it's too dangerous. Somewhere that people are not.
That people are not?
You are at a hotel.
Oh, yes. But wouldn't that be rather... Well, I mean...
You must trust me. I'm in desperate danger. Please, hurry. We will go to your hotel.
It was a devilish awkward situation. I mean, taking a girl to one's hotel room, it simply isn't done. And I hated to think what Father would say. On the other hand, one couldn't let a lady down. Especially her. She was beautiful. She was the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen. And she was very frightened.
I will have a drop of brandy, if you don't mind.
No, not at all. Would you like to take your coat off?
In a little while. I'm cold.
Well, you'll feel better in no time. Here we are.
Thank you.
I say, that's quite good. It always chokes me to do that.
You're being very kind, Mr.
Oh, I'm frightfully sorry. My name is Richard Ferris.
I am Tina Vallon.
Oh, what a charming name. I mean, it goes, rather.
It is not my true name.
Oh?
Mr. Ferris, I do not wish to sound melodramatic, but I need help so terribly.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry. Really, I am. If there's anything
but there is. I must go to Ankara.
Turkey?
It is of the utmost importance. And there are men who will stop at nothing to prevent me.
But why? I mean...
I cannot tell you.
Well, what about the police?
I cannot go to them. There would be
questions which I may not answer.
Oh, I see.
Mr. Ferris, when I saw you this evening at the casino, I said to myself that here was a man I could trust. He's young, English, and a gentleman.
Oh, I say.
But he has lost his money at roulette. I will make it a business transaction, Mr. Ferris. Take me safely to Ankara, and I will give you 50,000 francs.
Well, I'd love to, really, but... Well, you see, next week I have to be in school. Oh, that is college. Trinity. Cambridge, you know.
Here, Mr. Ferris. Richard. 10,000 francs. The rest at Ankara. Please.
Well, it's not the money. Really?
Don't you see? They might not dare if someone like you were protecting me.
Well...
Take the money. It is a business transaction. Take it. I beg you to do this for me.
Well, I feel like a cad. Taking money from... Well, I mean... She was very close to me. And I saw that she was quite a bit older than I was. 26, possibly 8. Oh, but very beautiful. I realized how serious the thing was. After all, it could mean life or death to me, too. One must be practical, so I took the money. I packed my traveling case, and together we left the hotel. On the way to the station, I bought a pistol, as it seemed the thing to do. Tina had decided to take the train as far as Genoa, and then change for Naples, where we could catch the boat for Turkey. If someone was following us, he didn't allow himself to be seen, and we managed to find ourselves a compartment alone. Well, here we are. You comfortable?
Yes, thank you. Would you be kind enough to draw the shades?
Rather. I say, Miss Bellon.
Please call me Tina.
Tina? Here. Have a look out of the window for a sec. There's 2 chaps standing outside.
Draw the shades, quickly.
Nasty looking. Are those the ones?
Yes. I hoped that we could escape them. They will be on the train now.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
At what time do we arrive in Genoa?
2:15. That's tomorrow morning. We have a 10-minute wait before the Naples train leaves.
I do not think that they will attempt anything while we are still in France. But once we cross the border...
Look here now. You're going to be absolutely safe with me. I don't want you to worry. I may look young, but I've had a great deal of experience. That is, well, I play rugby at school, and well, I can manage things perfectly.
I'm sure you can, Richard. That is why I wanted you to help me.
We settled down for the run to Genoa, and Tina dozed off. I just sat and looked at her. She was very lovely. Everything about her. I couldn't make up my mind where she came from. Oh, not that it mattered. But I wondered for a moment if Father would have approved. After all, she wasn't English. We'd been traveling for about 2 hours and a half when the trouble began. Yes?
Mr. Ferris?
Yeah? Who is it?
May I have a word with you, please?
I should say not.
It would be advisable.
Now hop it, or I'll ring for the conductor.
This is not your concern, Mr. Ferris. We have no desire to harm you.
Oh, I'll bet you haven't.
Just tell the lady that it is a long way to Ankara.
Have they gone?
Yes, I think so.
They will try again.
Look, it really isn't any of my business, I suppose, but... Well, what is it you've done? Why should they want to kill you?
Let us say that I know something that is very important.
But you're so... Well, I mean... Well, how did you ever get into a muddle like this?
For love, Richard.
Oh.
Of my country.
I think that a man would be very fortunate if you ever loved him enough to have a look like that in your eyes.
Perhaps someday I shall look at a man like that. You're sweet, Richard. Now I want you to have some rest. If anything happens, I'll wake you.
Oh, I say I couldn't. Why, they may try.
I don't think so. But if they do, I have this.
I say, you're not afraid of anything, are you? Well, night-night. Wake me up when we get to Genoa.
Hello. You look rested.
Hello. Anything stirring?
While you slept, I have been thinking.
What?
This is a great deal that I ask you to do for me. Even for 50,000 francs.
Oh, but I wanted to.
If you wish to turn back when we reach Genoa.
I wouldn't think of it.
I will not think of you as a coward. It is not your affair. And you are in danger, too.
As you said, it's a business arrangement. 50,000 francs, I'll take you to Ankara.
Is it so easy to put a price on your life?
No, but I wouldn't want you to be harmed.
You are a very odd young man, Richard Ferris.
Oh, I'm not really so young, you know. I just look it. Oh, hello, we're in. Come along. We've got to get that Naples train. Now stay close behind me. No, thank you. Can you see them?
No.
Well, we'll follow the crowd. I don't think they'll try to stop us as long as we're with people. It happened very quickly. We were crossing the station to the platform where the Naples train was standing. Suddenly, from somewhere out of the crowd, a man lurched towards us. He took me unaware, and before I knew it, he was jumping me from the side.
So sorry. How clumsy of me. Allow me to pick up your portmanteau.
As he bent down, the blighter hooked an arm around my leg, and I was down.
Mind your business, you fool.
I will. And you, sir, mind yours. It was a frightfully stupid thing for me to do, and obviously what they'd hoped for. In half a tick, a Gilbert and Sullivan constable appeared. But there was nothing comic opera about the way he took me in charge. I was manacled and on my way to jail. And in 7 minutes, the Naples train was to leave. I looked about wildly for Tina, but she was gone. And so was the man I had knocked down.
CBS wishes to remind you that 2 of its top comedy shows have returned for another great season. The Sunday night Amos and Andy and Red Skelton shows. Both programs are heard on most of these same CBS stations. Be listening tonight and every Sunday night this season for Red Skelton and Amos and Andy at CBS, the Star's Address. And now we return you to Escape.
I was taken to a booth at the end of the station and brought before a gentleman dressed in a uniform that I judged to be at least that of a general. The arresting constable spent 2 minutes pouring out my crimes, whilst the general, who looked like a bandit, but spoke like one of my professors, listened.
So, and your name is Richard Ferris?
My dear sir, my passport says so. Now, can't I pay the fine? It's ever so urgent that I catch the Naples train.
Ah, you English. What would you do if there was nowhere to go?
I hardly see that it concerns you.
You are not serious, my young friend. This is a serious matter. One cannot stride around Genoa striking innocent citizens.
Innocent? Well, I'll be blowed. He asked for it. Now, why wasn't he arrested, I should like to know?
Yours was the offense for striking without provocation.
Without... All right, then. All right, I'm sorry. I was wrong, quite wrong. But the train, now let me pay the fine. Anything, please. I must catch that train.
One must consider the magnitude of the offense.
Don't you understand? It's a matter of life and death.
Life and death?
Well, not exactly. You see, it's my wife. Yes, my wife. Oh, we're on our honeymoon.
But why did you not tell me this before? It makes a difference.
Well, in 2 minutes it won't. Not if I miss the train.
50 lire fine and a warning.
50 lire. How much is that in francs?
Frank, let me see. The rate of exchange
well,
now...
Here you are, 500. That should manage. And thanks most awfully. You're very kind. It must have been enough, because they didn't shoot at me as I ran back down the station and to the Naples train platform. I looked at the station clock. 1 minute. I didn't want to take a chance of getting aboard, and yet Tina might have. I dashed to the waiting room, and as I did so, I saw the 2 men through the window. They were pacing up and down inside. back and forth before a door. It was the ladies' lounge. Devilish clever girl. I should have known she would manage alone. And at that moment, as the whistle blew, she ran out. Tina, this way. Don't be afraid. They won't dare. You see, they've slowed down already. They're pretending not to see us. Any carriage will do. We'll find our own once we're aboard.
Richard, you would have been better off with the police.
Oh, not me. There we are. Look at your friends.
Yes, but I'm afraid we haven't got rid of him so easily. Then, how did you manage to get away from the police?
It was simple. I said we were on our honeymoon.
Oh. Now that you are here, I'm glad.
Well, I couldn't let you down, you know. I mean, well, I'm awfully keen about you, you see.
I understand. And I want to tell you something, because I trust you.
Yes.
If I do not reach Ankara, it is possible that you will.
Oh, no, you mustn't even think of that.
They will try to stop us again, possibly before we get to Naples, but most certainly on the boat. Perhaps they will not succeed, but if I cannot, I want you to take a message for me.
Righto. Count on me.
You must go to the Ministry of War. There is a man there named Baptiste. Tell him you come from me.
Yes?
Tell him that the blow must fall no later than the 9th. The place will be wrestling.
Only that?
Richard, what I have told you is the information that can mean death for both of us.
Ah. And that's why they want to stop you. Because of that message.
A message which means defeat for our enemies.
What bounders? I mean the chap sending someone like you to do their dirty work. Oh, why couldn't you write or send a cable?
There are people in our government who are not to be trusted. If the message fell into the wrong hands...
Yes, I see.
Now you know.
By Jove, you really are... You're quite a girl.
And you, Richard, are quite a man.
It was somewhere between Campiglia and Grosseto that the emergency cord was pulled and the train came to a stop. I looked through a crack in the drawn shade. It was dark outside, but 100 yards away, I could see the headlights of a car, and moving toward the train, 3 or 4 bouncing dots of torch beams.
What is it? Can you see anything?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. We're in for it.
But you think we ought...
Wait.
Signor, this is the conductor. Open, please.
We'll have to use the window. Come on.
Signor!
I'll go first, then you jump. I'll catch you. Righto, jump!
Yes, the car over there. There's a searchlight.
Duck down. Now, those bushes, down the line. Try not to make any noise. Oh, that's torn it. Come on, run! As we ran, I heard a voice shouting for us to stop, and another telling them not to shoot. Now, that was strange, and I wondered why they wanted us alive. We kept going until we found a dirt road about a quarter of a mile away. It was very dark, but through some trees I saw a glimmer of light that looked like a house. We stumbled across a field to it.
It is going to be difficult. They must know the country. Well,
if I can rouse someone at that farm, I'll get our bearings.
Is it wise?
No other way. We might find a car there.
Oh, wait a moment.
What's the matter?
I thought I heard... There, you see, coming up the road.
Like hounds and hares, eh? Well, they can't drive across the field. Come on.
Would it be wiser if we parted? One of us would have a chance to get through.
Not yet. Oh, blast. They must have seen us. You all right?
Yes.
Oh, if we could just get a car.
Look. Behind us, torches.
3, 4, 5. Possibly one stay behind in the car. The friends have got quite an army.
What are we going to do?
I don't know yet.
See.
Cosa vuole?
We need help. Have you got a car?
Lo capisco, signore, no?
Oh, these foreigners. Look, do you see this? A gun. Bang, bang. Do you understand?
Madonna mia!
Now look, you say nothing. You haven't seen us.
Cosa? He doesn't understand.
Well, he knows what a gun is. That's all that matters. Come on. We'll stay behind this door. If he makes a sound... You there. Quiet. Say nothing. Shh. You may have to use guns, Tina.
I'm ready.
Why don't they open it? Open! Open! Yes, that's right.
Via Cherry, signore. Here, come per due omine. Ha visto qualche persona?
2 persone? No, non se ne stanno qui, no.
Una signora e un signore inglese.
No, nessuno.
Una spia. Può avere sua permissione di cercare?
Ma le ha dato, non sono nessuno, signore.
Forse sono. Voglio cercare?
Sicuro, sì.
Grazie, buonanotte.
Buonanotte, signore. Buonanotte, please.
Oh, good chap. Thanks. Here you are. I hope we didn't inconvenience you.
Ma cosa fa? Andate via, per piacere.
Tina, have a look through the curtains, will you?
I can't see too. No, 3 of them. Moving on.
Now, the others may have gone to the back. Signor.
Sì.
Do you own a car?
Ma cosa? Non capisco, signore.
What is my Latin? A car. Do you follow?
No, signore, no, non capisco.
They're gone. I can't see them now.
Well, we better make a run for it. If we can reach their car before they do, we might have a chance. I say, blow out the lamp before I open the door, will you? We mustn't attract any attention here. Yeah, that's it. Well, off we go. Now remember, no sound, signor. Bang, bang, if you do.
Molto bene, signore. Sì.
You ready? Right. It was as easy as pie. They must have believed the old boy's story, because as Tina and I doubled back across the meadow, we saw a couple of torches bobbing about near the barn. A question now seemed to be, did they have a man guarding the car? We came to the road and stopped.
There, I see one. Watch. You can make out the cigarette. He's leaning against the mud guard.
Yes. Oh, stay here, Tina. It's all right, Tina. Put him to sleep. Hop in.
Put up your hands, buddy boy, and you too, miss. We want to have a little talk with you both.
The searchlight had been switched on and was blinding, but I could hear well enough, and I knew that voice. It was Mr. McLennan, my friend in Monte Carlo. Mr. McLennan. Well, now I understood why they let us escape from the farmhouse so easily.
You haven't been in the business as long as I have, Richard. I knew the old man was lying about not seeing you, and I expected you tried to get her motor. You did.
Well, what do you intend to do?
Ask the young lady. She knows.
Oh, it's going to be that, eh?
You should have known better. But I'm sorry you got yourself concerned in the matter. I rather liked you.
Look here. I've got some money. Why not let her go? You can hold me.
Oh, you are a very young man, aren't you? We're not interested in you, Richard. It's the girl we're after. I suppose she's told you, though.
Told me?
Of course she has.
Oh, what a scoundrel you are. A renegade Englishman. What difference does it make to you whose side you're on? You're being paid. Well, we'll pay you, too.
Man, you don't understand. It matters a great deal whose side I'm on. She told you to take a message to the man in the Ministry of War if she didn't get through.
No.
What's his name?
This is absolute Tommy Rock.
Oh, what a porridge head. Ask your friend where she comes from.
It doesn't make the slightest difference.
Oh, then let me tell you. She's Romanian, Maria Olescu. We've been after her for 3 years. You're the one who's working for the wrong side. Poor chap you bashed on the head is a Turkish military agent. So were the men on the train.
You expect me to believe that?
I don't care whether you do or not. But here, have a look at my card if you like.
Alistair McLennan, military intelligence, British warden.
Well?
It's a fraud.
Why do you think we didn't have the police stop you both in Geneva? We couldn't, because this thing you've got by the tail is too big. It mustn't get out. You know what war is, Richard.
Do you expect me to answer that?
If your message gets through, we may have one. Very soon. Our department thinks that this girl has the word for the assassination of someone in Turkey very high up. You have that message, too, haven't you? Haven't you?
Tina?
It's all true, Richard. Everything that he says. It's too late now, anyway. I'm sorry.
But, Tina, you mean that all this time?
What was the message?
Well, I was supposed to contact a man named Bardiz and say that the blow must fall no later than the night. The place will be Ressolin.
He did not know, Mr. McLennan. Please, believe me. I told him that you were trying to prevent me from reaching Ankara. He didn't know.
I'll take your word for it. But we'll have to hold him until after the night, just to be on the safe side.
I say, Mr. McLennan, you must think I'm an awful fool.
No, laddie boy. Just awfully young. Next time you'll know better than to help a beautiful woman in distress.
They took us back to Paris. And during the whole journey, Tina didn't speak a word. Just looked out of the window. I thought of my family, of Trinity College, and England. But none of them seemed particularly important now. Only she seemed important. And I wondered what would become of her. And then, as they took Tina away, she turned to me and smiled. It was a smile that I'd seen only once before, and she spoke of love of her country. But this time, she was looking at me.
Escape is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Today we have brought you Roulette by Anthony Ellis, with Terry Kilburn starred as Richard. Featured in the cast were John Daner, Alberto Morin, Georgia Ellis, Lou Krugman, and Edgar Barrier. Special music was arranged and played by Ivan Ditmar.
Next week, escape with us to a puppet kingdom in the heart of the Belgian Congo, and a man who challenged that kingdom because of a dream.
Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy check in at CBS, the Star's address, tonight, bringing with them their very special guest, Jane Wyman. Stay tuned now for Make Believe Town, which follows immediately over most of these same stations. James Matthews speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
You, finding life pretty dull? Dreaming again of exotic places? Wishing you were somewhere else? We offer you escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
Escape with us now to a puppet kingdom in the heart of the Belgian Congo, and a man who challenged that kingdom because of a dream, as Gil Dowd and Anthony Ellis tell it in their most unusual story, The Power of Hammer.
Play it again.
God, Sam, I have played it for you 10 times already.
It's a jukebox, isn't it? I'm paying. Play it again. I like it.
So, I play it again.
We hear something else now. Mule train. Mule train.
Mister, I like that song.
Get some water.
It's better. Felt good when I hit it. Hurt my hand, though. That's all right. Lousy whiskey. Lousy bar. Lousy conga. I must be drunk. Must be, I am. Kerrigan, you're drunk. I like that song. Wish I was back in the States. Wish I could see Alice. Alice. Gotta get out of here. Hey!
Yes, Sam.
Here's for your broken table. Here's for your whiskey. That enough?
Oh, it's all right. It's not your fault. I have another mule train for you next time you come to Monaco.
Where do we go from here, boys? Where do we go from here?
Hey, Sam, where you go, you strong man? You stay with me, and we have good time.
Cigarette. Ah. Hey, dog. You got a friend for me?
Mr. Kerrigan?
Sure.
You will come with us, please?
What for?
The inspector will tell you. Come with us, please. Inspector Farnack?
Oh, yes. You can wait outside. Come in, Mr. Kerrigan. Sit down, please. What's the charge?
No charge, Mr. Kerrigan. Government business. I have received a cable ordering me to extradite a man named Benjamin Hammer. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
We believe that he is somewhere in this territory, possibly west of Muyumba, across the Lualaba River.
Uh-huh.
15 years ago, he embezzled money in Brussels and, incidentally, killed a man.
Took a long time to get him.
But we think we have now. Have you heard of a white man who calls himself a king and has made himself responsible for several thousand Bahuto tribesmen?
I've heard rumors.
That man may be Benjamin Hammer. I want you to take me into his kingdom.
Across the Lualaba? Not me.
Kerrigan, you are the only guide in the Belgian Congo who is familiar with that country. Surely you have taken hunting parties in there before?
That's right, and I'm not going back.
You will be well paid?
Not well enough. Sorry.
Just a moment. As a guide and a hunter, Mr. Kerrigan, you realize that you are licensed by the government. And here, I am the government.
So I moved to another territory. This lousy Congo's all the same.
You are an alien, my friend. And without my help, it may be difficult to obtain a license anywhere.
Look, Inspector, this is for your own good. It's bad in there. Real bad.
You mean the natives?
Yeah. You wouldn't get 10 miles beyond the river.
I am aware of the hostility of the natives, Mr. Kerrigan. This is my territory. But we won't be going in alone.
Oh?
There'll be 40 of us.
You're Bantu boys?
And 2 machine guns.
This is funny. You're blackmailing me.
Not at all. You will be paid.
That's what I mean. Okay, it's your funeral. There's your stinking polluted Lualaba River, Fernac. There's your jungle.
I recognize it, Mr. Kerrigan. I have been here before.
You've been to Mayumba, but you haven't gone across the river.
We shall unload the trucks now and leave tomorrow at dawn. The Bantus have instructions not to fraternize with the villagers, and I wish you two to remain silent about our mission.
Sure. But you listen tonight. You'll hear the drums talking. There's no such word as secret here.
One more thing, Kerrigan. As long as you are in the employ of the Belgian government, you will try to remain sober. Sergeant Labat. Yes, sir. Unload the trucks and post a guard about them. Careful of the trucks.
Sure. Be careful of everything. Unload the trucks. Post a guard. If you really want to be careful, go back to Manono, boy. Back to Manono. But you won't go back, you fat little Fernac. And you may lose more than your weight. All the villages at night. Hot. Stink. Never sleep. Wonder if Fernac's listening. Wonder if he's awake. You hear the drums, Fernac? Did you ever hear a drum talking? Well, I did. Many soldiers with guns crossing the river before the sun and come to the kingdom of Hammer. Can you hear that, Fernac? I better have a drink. Maybe sleep.
Very good. Mr. Kerrigan and I will take the point. Instruct the men to maintain 2-paced intervals. As my whistle, take cover. Mr. Kerrigan?
Yeah?
Were you asleep?
No, just last smoke.
Mr. Kerrigan, one of my Bantu sergeants says that he understands the language of the drums.
Wouldn't be surprised.
He says that they are telling the king that we are coming.
I figures.
The king's name is Hammer.
And I guess you were right.
I think that you have known that all the time. You were too anxious to stop us from coming here.
You've got a suspicious mind, Fernac. I told you why I didn't want to guide you. It's dangerous. You don't know what you're getting into. Better go back to your desk and your rubber stamp.
I have brought my stamp with me, the seal of the Belgian government. I am that government.
On the other side of the river, maybe, but not here. There's a king by the name of Hammer.
I have got 40 trained soldiers.
What if his men are more loyal than your tame Bantus?
At the pace we set today, how long do you think it will take us?
Oh, with luck, 4 more days, maybe 5. Remember, I've never been here before.
So you said. Good night, Mr. Kerrigan.
Hey, Fernac.
Yes?
I wouldn't move around too much in the dark.
Don't be afraid, Mr. Kerrigan. We are well guarded. I posted 6 men with our machine guns.
Okay, I won't be afraid. Too quiet. Let's see what happened. No. Their funeral, not mine.
Inspector! What is it, Sergeant?
The separatists are dead. All of them. Machine gun stuff.
What? Show me.
This way, sir.
Lucky it wasn't you, fat little Fernac. I told you it was dangerous. You wouldn't listen, would you? Hope you haven't had breakfast yet. You won't like what you see. Better go back. Back to Manono for you, boy.
Kerrigan!
What's the matter?
The sentries.
dead, huh? You look a little green.
You are possibly more used to it than I am, Mr. Kerrigan. They were beheaded. The machine guns were stolen.
Gonna turn back?
No. I want you to take a searching party. I give you 10 men.
Search for what?
If you're a hunter, you can follow tracks.
Sure I can, and you know what I'll find? Not your machine guns. 6 heads stuck up on poles. That's what they did it for, to warn us off. They could have wiped out the whole camp if they wanted. You better go home, Fernak.
We go on. Sergeant Labat. Yes, sir. Form the column as quickly as possible. We're moving on.
Should have gone back that first morning. You've got guts, though. You'll need them. We'll get there all right. They haven't hit a white man. Hammer's saving something special for us. Something special for me. You all right, Fernak?
Yes.
How many this time?
I don't know. Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
Casualties?
Yes, sir.
That leaves 3 Bantus, you, Labat, and me. What's the matter? You ready to turn around now?
I want to get Hammer. If I do go back, it will only be to get 200 men.
Forget it. This is the last attack.
How do you know?
Are you kidding? Why should he be afraid of you now? He's left us 3 Bantus for porters. How do you expect to drag him back to Monono with an army like that? He'll let us in, all right. Let's get moving. There it is. Nothing changed since the last time. Clearing, stockade, house. There's the room. A night I can't forget.
Sam, don't go away unless you take me with you. I can't stand you. Oh, Sam, take me back. I want to be with you.
You should have thought of that before. You wanted Ben. You got him. I know what you're like now.
I'm afraid of him. Sam Kerrigan, scared. You're scared. You're scared.
You were right, Alice. I was afraid. I still am. Now I'm back.
My name is Benjamin Hammer. You are Inspector... yes. The message of the drums was unable to cope with the name. Mr. Kerrigan.
Hello, Ben.
I'm surprised to see you. I thought I made it clear at our last meeting that I should kill you if you returned.
You had your chance. Why didn't you?
I don't understand.
Skip it.
Benjamin Hammer, I have here a warrant for your arrest on a charge of embezzlement and murder, to which will be added responsibility for the death of 37 government soldiers.
Responsibility? Your responsibility, Inspector, not mine. You should have known better than to enter Bahutu country. Kerrigan knows how savage the natives are. Didn't he tell you? I suppose not. Mr. Kerrigan is a deceitful man. You mustn't trust him.
I don't.
Well, before you drag me off to my doom, I should imagine that a bath and a cooling drink would be in order. Come along. You too, Sergeant. I want you to meet my wife. My men will take care of your Bantus.
Little fat man. You're not afraid of him. Are you crazy? How are you going to do it? How do you arrest a king? Hot bath, cool drink, supper, and then any hour, any day he wants it. Goodbye, Sergeant Labat. Goodbye, Inspector Governmental Fernak. Goodbye, Kerrigan. Alice, waiting like a wife at the door. Alice, I've made you smile. Warm, red. I know those arms. I know you, Alice. Soft, dark, gardenias. Frightened? Who are you looking at? You're looking at me.
My dear, I should like you to meet Inspector Fernak. He's come to arrest me.
How do you do?
Madame.
And Sergeant...
Labatt.
Sergeant?
Mr. Kerrigan, you know, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Now run along and prepare food for our guests.
Yes, sir.
Inspector, I have prepared a room for you and the sergeant at the end of the corridor. Kerrigan, I don't imagine you'll mind going back into your old room, filled with memories, eh? Show them the way, will you?
I don't mind.
When you've had your baths and feel up to it, we'll take supper on the veranda.
Why did you say you'd never been here before?
What does it matter?
You knew he was wanted, didn't you?
No. To me, he was a guy who paid well for trade goods and told me to keep my mouth shut about his setup. I did because it was good business.
How long have you known him?
5 years. 6. Haven't been here for over a year, though.
Why did he speak of killing you if you returned?
That's none of your business.
I'll make it my business when we return to Manono.
Yeah, you do that, Fernac, when we get back. Go to bed, Kerrigan. What for? She calls him Sir. Sir. He treated her like one of the Bahutu's servants. Doesn't eat at the table. Slave? When did that happen? A year ago, after he found out about us. Sure. Wonder if she's with him now. Have a drink.
What's the use?
Where are you? Where are you? Wish I hadn't done that. Alice? No. Little fat Fernac. Fernac.
No, don't touch me.
Alice.
No, you mustn't. I can't stand being touched. You don't know what it's been like with him since you left. Oh, why didn't you take me with you then?
You know why. He would have had his natives on us before we'd gone a mile. But why did he let me go?
Don't you know? So that he could do what he's done to me. So that I could think about you outside, alive, and want you. So that he could do these things that I can't tell. Look at me.
It would have been better for both of us if he tried to run away and he'd killed us.
It doesn't matter now.
Yes, it does. We'll try it. Come with me.
No, I couldn't go with you now.
There might be a chance. Does he know you're here?
I suppose so. He knows everything about me. He left you your guns, didn't he?
Yeah, he would. You know that.
I want you to give me yours.
I can't do that.
I've got to kill him. I've waited a year for the chance. It's made me want to live, to kill him. He's been so sure, so safe because he's so strong. But with a gun, I can kill him. I'll show him he's not a god. I'll show the natives he's not a god. Give me the gun.
No.
You loved me once. If you still do, do as I ask.
I still do. That's why I want to take you away.
You're afraid. You're still afraid. Give me the gun. I've got to.
Alice. No. Alice.
No. Don't touch me. I can't stand you. Filthy. Dirty.
Hold it. No, don't touch it. Another night, though, yes. Gardenias. Waiting a year. Waiting. Not for Sam. Not for Sam. Waiting for a gun. Don't go. Don't go. Don't go! Alice, I've got to think. There may be a way. I'll talk to Fernac. We'll figure out something. Maybe tomorrow.
He'll kill you all tomorrow.
Alice!
How does she know we die tomorrow?
Leave me alone.
I want to talk to you.
Get out of here, Fernac. Leave me alone.
What did she tell you?
Nothing. You're lying. Get out!
What did she tell you? Why did he leave us with our guns? Why have we still got our guns?
Because that's the way he is. So we shoot him. How do you want to die after? It won't be easy like being shot. I've seen what the Bahutus can do to you. And he knows I've seen it.
I do not want to die, Mr. Kerrigan, but the Belgian government has seen fit to name me as its representative. If I am unable to arrest Hammer and take him back for trial, I shall have to shoot him here.
You wouldn't have a chance. You've seen his guards of honor. He's their god, the immortal king, Ben Hammer. That's how he rules them. They think he can't be hurt, and he can't.
Mr. Kerrigan, knowing this about him, why did you come back?
Don't you remember you blackmailed me into
I
it?
don't believe that. It was the wife, wasn't it?
Yeah. The wife. I guess I would have come back someday anyhow.
It's strange, Mr. Kerrigan. We seem to have parallel missions. Mine to take him out, yours to take her.
Yeah. Too bad, isn't it?
More coffee, Inspector?
No, thank you.
Sergeant?
No.
I don't want any more.
Well, then breakfast is finished.
Mr. Hammer, I think the time has now come to start back for Manolo.
You know, I rather admire you. You must realize your position here, and yet with stubborn zeal you persist with this farce. And please, don't touch your gun. It's all right, Egale. I don't want to see you killed that way. I have other plans.
Then I have nothing to lose.
As you wish, Inspector. Draw your gun. That's better. It is difficult to set in motion your own execution, isn't it? Mr. Kerrigan knows that. Come, we'll go out on the veranda. I want to show you something. These natives you see are the chieftains of my kingdom. I called them together to witness my decree. Hear me, wise Bahutus. These two white men in uniform have been sent to dethrone me by a government that thinks itself stronger than I, your king. Igale, seize them. My reply to this insolence is to return them to the country in humiliation, bound and across the back of an ox.
What about me, Ben? I have something to say about this.
You, Kerrigan? Oh, yes, you have a gun. No, let him, Igale, let him. I know Mr. Kerrigan.
Do you, Ben? Are you sure? Tell your men to release the inspector and the sergeant.
And if I don't?
I'll give you 30 seconds, and if you don't, I'll shoot you.
You'd like to kill me because of her, wouldn't you? But it wouldn't do you any good now. She wanted to do that. Go ahead. Shoot. Shall I tell you what they'll do to you then? They'll stake you naked to the ground and smear honey over you. Then the ants will come. First one, then two, then more. Your hand's shaking, Kerrigan. And when the ants are nearly finished, you'll be screaming then. They'll take sharp little sticks and they'll...
You, Igale. Let them go. Don't look at me, look at them.
They aren't doing anything. Just watching.
King. King. You stand up. Him not stand up. Him not dead. He say he cannot die. No man kill him. He tell us when he come here. He show us. He drink poison from our arrows.
He was no god, Igale. He was no king. He's dead. Go look at him.
He no god. He no king. He's dead.
With me, we have good time.
Oh, hello, Sam. For yourself. You've come back.
Yeah.
I didn't forget your song. You've come back so soon. Now, I play you another you like.
Okay.
You're afraid. You're still afraid. Give me the gun. I've got to. I've got to.
Alice, did you try anyway without a gun? You knew he was stronger than you. You were lying there broken. I touched you.
Don't touch me. I can't stand you.
Or did Hammer kill you because you came to see me? But it wasn't me, was it? It was the gun you wanted. A year ago, you should have killed him then.
Why didn't you take me with you then? Why didn't you take me with you then?
You like the song, Sam?
Sure. Fine.
Can I bring you something?
Yeah. A bottle. I'm going to get drunk if you don't mind.
Escape is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Today we have brought you The Power of Hammer by Gil Dowd and Anthony Ellis, with Harry Bartell starred as Sam. Featured in the cast were Edgar Barrier, Vivi Janis, and Stan Waxman, with Ann Morrison, Jack Crucian, Lou Krugman, and Don Diamond. The special music for Escape was arranged and played by Ivan Ditmars.
Next week, escape with us to the year 100,008 and a world where beauty and terror live side by side, as H.G. Wells described it in his immortal story, The Time Machine.
Now that color television is definitely coming, should you buy a television set? What about your present TV set? Frank Stanton, president of the Columbia Broadcasting System, gives you answers to these and other vital questions about color television today at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss this informative talk about color television over most of these same CBS stations. Now, stay tuned for Make Believe Town, which follows immediately over most of these same CBS stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking. This is CBS, where you laugh at Jack Benny every Sunday night at the Columbia Broadcasting System.